Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Beacon, the Streampunk's Alien RPG live play here on Q Times. I'm your GM, Eric, and I'm here with the Streampunks tonight for a very, as I've always called it, a very relaxing game of the Alien TTRPG. Before we kick things off, I'm going to go ahead and toss this over to Eliza, who I think had an announcement tonight.
Yes, I'm looking for the details, but I'll start talking as I'm looking. I'm going to be at San Diego Comic-Con in just a couple of weeks. I'm going to be on a panel. I'm actually going to be on two panels. I can't quite announce the second one yet because we're still sorting out details, but I can tell you about the first one. It is called, here it is, got it. It's called Level Up cosplay, characters, and charity. So that's going to be Friday, July 21st at 8 p.m. So check your schedules for that and for the location. And yeah, there's some cool folks on there. Ryan Omega is going to be on that panel as well. And I believe Jay Valkyrie is going to be on that panel. So some really cool TTRPG and cosplayer folks. So I'm excited to do that. And that's my
Sweet.
announcement.
All right. The only announcements that I have to give you guys tonight is just that as a quick reminder, Q Times posts their VODs up over on YouTube. You can catch the premiere of Beacon over on YouTube starting 7 a.m. on Thursdays moving forward. And it's make sure to set reminders for the premiere of that on YouTube. So when it launches, you'll be notified. So you'll know to swing by there and check it out. If you didn't catch the VOD here on Twitch, make sure to follow and subscribe over on Q Times YouTube because supporting Q Times is supporting the Streampunks. Q Times does us a big solid letting us use this platform to play our little games and tell our stories and connect with Ox Crew. This has been our home ever since Geek and Sundry. And anytime we get a chance to support Q Times, that's why we want to point people. So definitely check that out. The other announcements that I have are you guys can look forward to seeing one of our unlocks for the fundraiser that we did, where the Blood of the Void cast has reunited. And that is going to be coming up pretty soon. Definitely stay tuned to our socials. Checking out Streampunk's Coffee is an excellent way to do it because we announce things there before we announce them wide to everybody else. So check that out. If you're not a subscriber, definitely check out our coffee. And then, of course, our Twitter accounts, trash fire that platform is. Definitely check that out. We'll be announcing there too when that becomes available. And also a bit of a tease, but I would say definitely keep your eye on Streampunk's socials over the course of the next few weeks because something might start happening there. That's all I have to say. Anybody else have any announcements tonight before we jump into getting jumped on by Ellipsis?
I I have follow-up questions about that because I've been promised a lovely and relaxing game, and I, for one, am very excited.
Filled with hugs. Let's go ahead and begin tonight's episode of Beacon. Welcome back. We are going to start right where we left off at a pretty critical moment. I won't linger too far on the recap because most of us who have been following the story this far know exactly where we are. You know exactly where Tig is, and you know exactly what's going to happen if Tig can't pull out a magic trick. So, with that in mind, Tig, as I mentioned in the last episode, because you actually scored very well on your perception check, I'm going to give you initiative.
Okay,
Right
that's
now,
very
as a quick reminder of what you saw,
Yeah.
you were focused down the air duct. It was about close to 80 feet away. The end of the air duct, you saw something duck and move out of sight. That drew your attention away from the unusual, irregular shape that was unmoving in the upper left corner of the air duct, utterly still. And as you kind of tried to get a better look at what was moving at the end of the air duct, you suddenly realized that something was skittering towards you at an incredible speed. And just as you opened your mouth to shout out a warning, it leapt at you. Legs coming out in all directions and an extraordinarily long appendage that looks like a tail attached to it that's also racing out in front of it, almost like a scorpion's tail. All right, you have initiative.
I
What
do.
would you like to do?
Okay, so I have quick draw. So pulling up a weapon does not cost me any action.
You have quick draw.
Mhm.
I'm going to narrate this though. Let's paint the picture.
Okay.
You can quick draw that weapon, but keep
Yeah.
in mind you had just barely creeped.
This is
up
what
over
yeah,
the
so
top-
that's
yeah.
I have to I have
You
to
can
figure
do
out
it. So how
So-
this is going to work is if you're going to quick draw that weapon, you are electing to
She's
just
falling. She's
fall,
falling backwards.
right.
Yeah, no, fully. Yeah, she's
And-
letting go and falling
yeah,
backwards.
you're basically doing what Hicks did when he looked up to the ceiling and saw what was crawling towards him. You just fall and
She's just
open
letting go.
fire.
Yep. Mhm.
So, in which case, I'm going to add a penalty
Okay.
to this shot. That's going to be at a -2 penalty.
Oh my gosh. Okay, cool.
And that's to simulate both the size of the thing that's coming at you, the
Yeah.
speed in which it's coming at you, and the fact that you were falling backwards and shooting into that small opening.
Excellent.
None
Have
of
I-
you all is a quick like to narrate this too for the rest of the crew here. The only indication anyone is going to get that something is wrong is from the
Yeah.
fact that suddenly two things have happened. The beeping sound on the motion tracker stopped for a moment, and about the same time it started up again is going to be that precious moment where you watch Tig basically fall backwards and open fire with a pulse rifle into the air duct. All right, Tig.
Okay.
Let me
I
pull up the stats for this thing.
this.
Yep.
And then -2. Plus, have I gained another stress die from seeing it, or is that
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, you would gain another stress
I
die
have
from
one
seeing
from
it.
last episode, and here's another one. Okay.
As a quick reminder before you roll those dice, and
Yeah.
just to let the audience know as well, as a quick reminder, thanks to our top supporters on our coffee account, you all have a total of 12 story points that you have not touched this campaign yet. To my
Season.
recollection, I do not have any story points written down that you guys have spent. So keeping that in mind, you do have that available to you. As a quick reminder, those story points are not replenishing this season because it's such a shorter season. And what they do is they allow 5s to become successes along with 6s.
Okay.
And here we go.
I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to take one. I'm just gonna roll.
You-
I'm just gonna roll.
Okay, roll
Mhm.
those dice.
I feel like things are gonna get worse. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Okay. That's 3 successes and a 1 on the panic die.
Okay,
However, nerves of steel.
Nerves of Steel. So
I
how many
will
panic?
I have 2, so I will
2?
still succeed. Mhm.
You will still succeed, but you will add an additional point of panic.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So how much damage was that total? You rolled 2 successes,
3 successes and a
3 successes.
3 successes and a 1 on a panic die.
Okay, and the damage to the on the pulse rifle is
I have it here. 2.
2 points of damage
Yeah.
plus those 3 are the net success. So plus those 2.
Yeah.
So 4 damage total. Now, because you scored 2 over, you don't have to convert those into damage. You can spend those as stunts.
Okay.
So as a quick reminder, what you can
I'm gonna
do.
pull up my
Yeah. So as you'll see on the cheat sheet, what it'll say is you can add that to damage. You can swap initiative cards with the opponent, but I've given you initiative, so you don't have to worry about that. Opponent cannot make it. This opponent cannot make a panic roll, so you can't trigger that, or drop an item, or be. However, prone and pushback is a possibility. And then, of course, if you had declared auto fire, you would have been able to hit an additional target. But in this case, prone and pushback is a possibility.
Yeah, I want to use 1 for damage and 1 to knock it down.
Okay.
Like, yeah, so it's not jumping at anybody for a second, so
Right.
other people can see it and like get a second to react.
Okay.
So that's what I'm gonna do. So the main damage 2 above 1. I'm gonna use 1 for damage and 1 to knock it down.
And you're gonna stop its movement so it doesn't jump out. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, how much damage is that total?
Starts with 2. Is the initial success? No, the initial success is the 2.
I'm counting it as net.
So
successes.
3, and then a knockdown.
And okay, cool. So 3 points of damage. It does not soak any of that. I'm going to have, because of the range on this thing, I'm going to just have this, and I didn't get you. 5 and a 1. So how much damage was that? You said, okay. This all happens in a blink.
Winded and trying to scramble backwards, but probably not going very fast.
Tig, you don't realize you're screaming until the gunfire stopped and you've slammed against the ground. I'm going to give you 1 point of health.
Fair enough.
Tig, actually, roll your armor rating on your, because that might actually absorb some of the impact.
Yeah.
So roll 6 dice, I believe. You've got the full body plate. Oh, and then I disappeared again. Yeah. Elgato is just. I think what happens is I scare my webcam.
And armor has nothing to do with the panic dice. Those are not involved, correct? 4, 5, 6.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. Ooh! That's 3 6s. Holy moly!
Okay, you're not going to take any impact damage from falling back. You don't bang your head against the ground as soon as you fall backwards. But you all see this burst of violence from Tig, the screaming and the gunfire. Everyone whips around. You can hear some of the other Colonial Marines screaming cuss words as they whip around thinking that they're under attack. Tig hits the grating with the barrel smoking at the end of the pulse rifle. You don't know what it was that she was shooting at because nothing comes out.
Oh, shit. I wanted to... That's okay.
Yeah, Tig, you think you hit it on your way down, but you have no idea how that resolved. And when you hit the ground, you're still aiming that pulse rifle up at the entryway of the air duct.
Is that a thing I would have that was in the like research we saw? I would have seen that form of the.
Yes, but
or did they just tell us? Did they just like explain to us?
Make an observation check.
Okay.
It's yes, you would have seen it because you and Doc specifically decided to do some investigations about how the blood worked and what their life cycle was and stuff like that. But this thing moved so fast. Yes, when it leapt into your light, I want to see if Tig actually was able to, if it registered.
Can Martha also do an observation roll for whether she heard anything after the shot?
Yeah. You were right next to me. You were spotting me.
I was like,
yeah. Give me 1 sec, and I'll let you know what's up. 2 successes. You know exactly what that was.
Okay.
That is what has been coined as a face hugger, and is one of the most lethal life forms that the xenomorphs have. It's how they implant embryos inside of human hosts. What you remember from them is the sacs that are located on the side. That's what stands out to you because they inflate the victim's lungs with air that causes you to essentially become high and docile.
Ugh.
And you lose consciousness.
That was 2 6. So is my 1 a stunt? My 1 extra? If it's 2, can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it getting away?
No, it's not getting away. You don't hear it moving.
Okay. Now Martha can
Martha, you don't hear anything in the air duct.
Okay. And Tig just says facehugger over and over again, I think, as she's trying to like winded and trying to get back up.
The Marines immediately react and fall in. Everybody is pointing their weapons at the air duct right now. Nobody moves. There's no sound coming from the air duct. There's slight ringing in everybody's ears as this pulse rifle went off at close range.
I think in an attempt to try and calm everyone down, Doc is just going to say, well, things are much louder than I thought they were.
Nobody moves. One of the Marines nudges to the other one, and you see one of the members of the fire team just fuck and starts moving slowly over to the bottom of the air duct. Steps up where you were stepping on, Tit. You see him put his strap, fixes it to his side as he adjusts, pulls out what looks like a bulky handgun that he had strapped to his side. And he just slowly turns and just with one eye looks into the corridor. And then he moves back and goes, she got it. Everyone starts lowering their weapons. And then brazenly, because Colonial Marine, he reaches into the air duct and you see him fiddling with something. He goes, oh yeah, look at this one. And he drags its body out from the inside of the air duct by the tail.
Acid blood. Okay.
Yeah, sure enough. This thing, most of its upper body comes apart as he pulls it out. It falls apart where you did an enormous amount of damage to it and it didn't soak any of it. And you hear one of the Marines go, Buchanan, put that fucking thing down. And she just looks at it and goes, yeah. She just drops it. As she hits the console, you hear this hissing sound as this corrosive greenish yellow fluid begins to burn through the top layer of the console. And it's just, you watch this metal fold in as it becomes porous and begin to just collapse onto itself, forming a black hole. And then the computer goes and sparks and flickers and goes offline. God damn it, Buchanan. What the fuck were you thinking? One of the other ones steps forward, the one known as Macron. He goes, well, at least we know it's dead. Nice shot, combat medic. I haven't seen a dive like that since I went crowd surfing back in my teenage days. One of them offers you a hand to pull you up.
Yeah, she'll come up. Yeah, a little stiffer than I used to be. And she kind of like shakes, like kind of rotates out the elbow a little bit. She probably landed on it kind of hard.
Batista says, I saw gunfire. Do you guys have confirmation that it's dead? In the comms, you hear Buchanan go, yeah, it's dead. She got it. Well, that's confirmation. I don't know if there's any Xenos, but there's definitely Xeno activity.
There's more. There was more moving. That's not what I saw until it was what I saw. There was something bigger and moving in the other direction. So, important. Side note, now that I'm upright again. Head on a swivel, I guess.
Okay. Glad you had those good reflexes.
What now?
Well, yeah, what now? Then you hear Batista say, now we're going to let Isaac do their job and finish getting the reactor up. We're going to cover Isaac while Isaac gets the reactor up. And then when the reactor gets online, if I see that ship, Rasmussen, move so much as an inch, I'm going to blow it out of the stars. If you can, when you get that reactor online, make your way up to the next deck. That's where the Rasmussen is docked. And then we're going to breach it. Remember, the goal is to take Maitland alive if possible. If it's not possible, take pieces of him back to the ship. We need to find out what he's doing and where the rest of the cult is. People's lives are at stake.
Question. I'm the only one who saw it alive, so I'm the only one who had to take stress for that, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Okay.
You didn't
cool.
use
Let me
full
know.
auto, so nobody else got stressed
Okay.
from the gunfire, believe it or
Just wanna
not.
make
It's more
sure.
of just like a shocking moment.
Yeah.
And seeing it dead doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah. I just want to make sure. I was like, hopefully
Mhm.
nobody else had to take that.
Yeah,
Okay,
nobody else
cool.
took any stress.
Cool.
But Tig, it has like as a way of kind of describing the way that stress settles in on you.
Yeah.
The rapid fire thudding sounds that its little feet made as it crawled towards you at incredible speeds. How stealthy it was. The way it leapt.
Mm-hmm. I
If
was
any
just
more
barely looking.
if any more of those things are on the station, they could be on the ceilings, they could be on the floor, they could be hiding underneath things. That's where your brain is starting to go right now.
Mhm. Jesus.
All right. So Isaac, if I remember correctly, you were in the process of getting this reactor up.
I can do that.
They got the power up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, because there was power to the computer console until Buchanan.
Power till Buchanan.
It was totally unforeseeable. Are you sure you don't want me to go take a look?
Inside the air duct? One of the Marines says to you.
Well, yes, and I look back to the arm and I look back to the blood up by the duct.
One of the Marines turns and looks directly at you, Doc. And then Marine leans into their mouthpiece on their helmet and says, LT. And Batista, knowing what it is that Kane is actually hinting at, says, yeah, good instinct, Kane. Doc, look, no one's going to ask Isaac to crawl into that duct. If Isaac wants to go, that's one thing. But as far as we're concerned, just as the captain ordered, Isaac is your crew. So it's your call.
Well, I believe that Isaac is more than capable of making decisions for themselves. So if Isaac is so inclined to go into those vents, then I am certain that Isaac will let us know. Isn't that right, Isaac?
Yes, I'm known for my assertiveness.
It's one of my favorite things about you. Now, Isaac, if you would like to go, I would be worried for you, but I would give you all the support in the world. But if you think there's a better course of action and something more pertinent to your skills that is necessary, then I would very much love to hear.
I do very much enjoy working on engineering, and certainly more than hunting out carnivores and strange alien beings, but I am the only one with the specialized skill of not being lunch for them.
That is true. I will leave it to your discretion. Meanwhile, if no one has any objections, I would like to take a look at the specimen, see if I might be able to parse some ways for us to identify, track it, or catch them coming before they leap at my friends again.
Be my guest, you hear one of them say.
Yeah,
Macron
no
nudges it closer to you with
objections
the. Macron nudges it closer to you with their boot.
Disgusting, but I mean, it does look like it might be tasty boiled with some butter.
Macron
Glad
looks
that's
at
the
you.
list.
That elicits some pretty revolted looks. But as you move closer to it, Doc, you see that its blood is still quite dangerous.
Yeah, that's actually what I think he's looking at the most. It's to see if there's anything that burns slower, or if there's any material. Like, I'm sure one of the things he'll test is rubber, like the soles of a shoe or something, just to see if there's anything.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Giving you data on that while other things are happening. I can tell you the moment you touch the surface of any of that blood fluid that's in its body and exposed right now, the rubber liquefies in just maybe over 1 second.
Good Lord. What is the effect of this blood on synthetic skin?
The LT in your ear says it melts right through it, just like metal.
I just kind of, I give a very worried look to Isaac. Like, the look says, I don't want you to go in the pit, but Doc will not say that. I mean,
Oh, does the look say that?
Yeah,
yeah,
a little speech bubble pops up.
It's just you don't say it with your mouth words, and so. No, I mean you look at Isaac, and Isaac's just smiling back beatifically. Like, I don't understand the context of that question. That's a funny thing to ask.
Well, there's one thing to note. If Isaac, if you should choose to go in that event, just because you are not a threat to this creature does not mean that it has not been wounded, and thus putting you in a precarious situation of encountering its blood.
My understanding, although I'm not myself a medical professional, is that silicone is more replaceable than skin. You need that skin for having skin.
If I've only done some rudimentary reading on synthetics, but I do believe the point of your synthetic skin is pretty much the same as the point of ours, is to protect your more vulnerable innards.
And to be aesthetic and less intimidating. I don't think your skin is for that. It might be. You might be more intimidating with just your soft tissue showing, but I wouldn't recommend it. Please keep your skin on.
Well,
And look to Tig at that one.
It was a joke. Okay. Tig's gonna actually hop back up on the console when Isaac goes up there. And kind of there's like a second of like, and then is gonna use like her light to kind of show Isaac where she saw movement before. The further thing away that she was looking at before she got facehuggered. If she can say like it seemed like it was moving that way or something, just anything that she can describe in as much detail as she can remember to like.
Right.
Might not help at all, but it makes her feel better to be able to give a piece of information to her friend who's about to go do something possibly dangerous.
Shadow of some kind of form moving to the right at a junction down at the end of this air duct, which is roughly 80 feet.
All right.
Oh, there's other stuff in there, I guess, so careful. Stay in contact.
Everything I see, Batista will too.
All right. You crawl up, easily pressing yourself up and pulling yourself into the air duct. Please make a mobility check for me.
Do I get to use my hypermoba? Oh, wait, that's the player.
I thought the same thing.
1.
1 success. You managed to not touch the acid spatter that is all over the inside of this air duct that has now become somewhat porous on its own, not just from the melted holes of acid, but from prodigious amounts of bullet holes from a pulse rifle. You can hear the heavy machinery and the inner workings of the station just beyond, now completely unfiltered by the metal layers of this air duct exposed as you crawl into it. The ambient hum now sounds like a living, breathing machine on disappearing into darkness beyond those porous holes that you have now crawled past. And Isaac, as you begin to make your way down the corridor, this air duct, you also begin to note that the temperature has risen slightly, which may or may not amount to anything. If you are crawling deeper into the guts of the station, it wouldn't be unusual, especially if the power had been off, for there to have been considerable heat buildup within these air ducts. And you continue crawling towards the end of the corridor, and it gets darker and darker. But you do have a shoulder lamp, if I remember correctly, you were equipped with. So you can see just fine. What is everyone else doing? Because Isaac, it's an 80-foot crawl. So Isaac's going to be at it for a few moments.
Martha, mm, two things Martha wants to be doing.
Okay.
I think the first thing, while why do I always want to call you Elliot? I don't know.
Do you like ET?
Is that ET? What?
We're not able
when
to squad
Isaac
right now.
when Isaac is climbing up, Martha's gonna be looking at Tig and saying, "So, glad your face is still intact."
Me too. Yeah, that was minute there. Wasn't sure it was gonna be.
Yeah.
You didn't get. I think that there's like a second where everything kind of catches up, and she remembers that you were really close to where she was, and is like suddenly like as if you wouldn't have said, "Ow, I got acid blood on me." Is like looking like you see her, she gives you kind of like a once over, and then it's like, "Sorry, just you got last time." Yeah.
Thanks.
I keep shooting shit by you
Just,
and blood splatter that gets, I'm glad I didn't get you this time.
No, yeah. I'm always gonna just make sure you're near me when one of these things is around. I'll be fine.
I guess so.
I'd like to use my banter to help
Yeah.
drop Tig's stress.
Okay.
Just
Is that a roll? I don't think it's a roll, is it?
Nope. And then it drops 2 with banter instead of 1.
Okay.
Oh wait, sorry. No, I'm so sorry. I took counselor because banter is the one where you're in a safe place. Does this count as a safe place? Should I take banter too?
I have banter.
I don't think, does banter require a safe space?
I think it does. Actually, I think you might be right. Hold on, let me read it.
I guess that would make sense because banter is kind of what you do when the fire has stopped.
Between fights, you release the tension in your team with some friendly banter. Your stress level and the stress level of everyone in short range of you drops 2 steps instead of 1 for every turn spent in the safe place. Having several Marines does not increase the effect.
Okay, then you can do that. Yeah, I would say you can do this once. So everyone's stress level can drop by 2 if you guys are going to start talking shit. Yep.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks. I do want to know what your counselor talent is, though.
Well, yeah.
You can say it. That's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
All right. While this is all happening, the LT in everyone's ear starts organizing the team and being like, all right, let's tighten it up, everyone. I don't want to leave Isaac behind. So everyone's going to stay where they are right now, and we're going to move out in just a moment. Now, as a quick aside, Isaac, I'm going to assume that everybody on this fire team and people that are accommodating the fire team also have body cam so that the LT can see what you are seeing.
Right. I thought you narrated something to that effect, hence the Batista sees what I see.
Right. So as you move closer and closer towards the junction point, you hear the LT in your ears going, "How you doing, Isaac?"
I'm doing well, thank you. And you? Have you read any good books lately?
Oh, a few.
Any recommendations?
I don't know. Maybe. I didn't finish them. Hold on. Slow up for a sec. Isaac, you're new at this, so let me tell you how the Marines do it. I want you to slowly look around that corner. Peek. Make yourself a small target.
For what?
That's what we're going to find out.
Okay.
Tig saw something going around that corner. I want to make sure you have opportunities to get out of there if it comes after you.
Okay.
And so what do you do?
Oh, I don't have a motion tracker, but as I'm moving, do I get the sensation along this little vent that one can feel the resonance of a footfall motion? Basically, if something else were moving around in here, wouldn't it also kind of you feel it if you're staying still?
That would make sense. I would say make me an observation check.
Okay. 2. Character growth.
That is character growth. My God, I don't know that you've ever scored that many successes on observation checks since this campaign began.
I'm very talented, okay?
You do not feel any vibrations of something moving through here.
All right. Good. So I just put my hand to the wall for a moment, feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Then Scooby-Doo, like, peek around.
Slowly glance to the other side. It's not just dark, but it looks like the darkness inside this particular air duct has become manifest and attached to the walls of the air duct. Is the best way you could describe it when you first see it, Isaac. But then you start noticing other traits. It looks organic somehow. It has a glossy surface. You see what looks like these blackened strands, almost like they were dripping in frozen place, stretching down and attaching itself. Essentially, based off of the research you've seen, you see evidence of what looks like xenostructured hive work. This sort of black, glossy tunnel. The opening to this air duct looks like it has actually shrunk in size a little bit, as this resin has completely covered the inside.
Are you seeing this, Batista?
Yeah, I see it. All right, everyone. We've got further evidence that there's a hive on the station. Isaac, I want you to get back out of the air duct quietly and quickly.
Isaac gets to stunt that, don't they? I got 2 successes.
If you want to stunt that, you can.
Any good observation stunts you're... Oh, isn't there an unexpected
Unexpected information?
information on an observation check?
Yep, there sure is.
That's 11 times out of 10 what I want.
Blood streaks.
Oh, good, they are there. I was just about
You
to
catch
ask
them.
about those.
Yeah, you catch them. What's curious about it is you didn't see them all the way down the crawl space until just now. But you see evidence that there's more blood streaks going into that hive-like area.
What's the shape of them? A big, thick one, like if you were dragging a bleeding body, or like a one hand wide kind of thing, like if someone were trying to resist being dragged?
That's the question. Because if you were to assume that the hand belonged to whoever's pulled into this duct, there should be a considerably larger amount of blood than you're encountering. And yet, you're seeing what looks like the equivalent of just a standard sort of open wound. Spatters on the ground that have been smeared across the metal surface that disappear into this black ichorish resin that is collected on the interior of this air duct.
Cool. I mean,
It's hard to say what's happened here.
there isn't a whole lot of blood here, Batista. They might still be alive.
Let's hope not.
What?
Isaac, just retreat back to the entrance of the air duct. We're going to pull everyone back and focus on getting to the Rasmussen. Once we've gotten to the Rasmussen, we're going to take what we can off these computers, and we're going to scrap the station.
Okay.
All right, Isaac. You start slowly edging back. Slowly edging back. You all can hear, and motion tracker's picking up Isaac's movement. No other movement. As you see the blips and hear the pinging sound of Isaac crawling slowly back. But everyone's privy to the conversation Isaac just had with the LT. Takes only a few more minutes before Isaac finally reaches the threshold of the air duct and makes it back safely. Nothing came after Isaac. And Isaac, you take one foot down, then the next, and lower yourself down to the ground.
since we were privy to that conversation, and there's kind of been confirmation that we're dealing with a hive here.
Mhm.
Is there any chance that Doc could look for some? He's looking to try and make a makeshift flamethrower, essentially, because he recalls fire being a deterrent.
There's nothing really in here that's going to be a makeshift flamethrower except for opening the reactor up, which would do the job
Okay.
for everybody. But aside from that, there's nothing like
No.
a can of WD-40 and a lighter in here, if that's what you're looking
Gotcha.
for. Yeah.
All right.
Everything in here looks like it's specifically designed to combat fire or any possible leaks. All right. Anything else before the LT starts moving you all out? Okay, with that, she starts giving you the play-by-play. One by one, the Marines begin to exit this particular room. You can see that Isaac was successful in getting a lot of the power back on down here. You can tell that the power is still struggling a bit, but all the consoles are now on and you guys have overhead lighting. A dramatic improvement to what this place was like when you first got here. And you make your way over to the elevator, which now looks like is in service. And you watch as Korea walks up to the elevator and she presses it down, and the Marines take formation around the elevator, 2 by the sides and 2 up front. Tip of the spear. Guns are leveled at the lift as it starts making its way down to y'all's level. You've seen this so many times, Martha and Tig. Standard protection, standard breaching action kind of tactic. If anything is in that lift, it's going to get a face full of Colonial Marine pulse rifle goodness. A few moments pass. You see, once again, the lift is at the floor just above you all when it comes to a stop. Candace says, "What the fuck?" Click, 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 click. Pressing the lift a few more times.
Isaac is going to gather Doc by the shoulder and perhaps just step back a touch.
Thank you, Isaac.
Booby trap.
Is this like a standard, like, doors that close the shut, or is this like an exposed?
The lift?
Yeah.
Standard. So the lift has a set of doors that opens like this and a second set that will open like this.
Okay.
Oh, 2 sets of doors.
Mm-hmm.
And did it sound like it was like a power down of the elevator, or it just abruptly stopped?
The elevator appears to still have power.
Okay.
If you
just stopped
weren't convinced that you were on a station that's probably filled with dead people, you might think somebody else called the elevator and is going down first.
Very interesting.
It hasn't moved yet. It seems to be stopped.
I kind of like, without taking eyes off the door, kind of like head turned to Martha, like, is there any, like, a control panel you can see if it has a separate instruction to stop there, or?
Yeah, I can check out the controls, see what's going on.
It's a software stop or a physical?
Yeah.
Because we don't hear any grinding, like it just stopped, like
Right.
it just sounded like a general, like, stop on the floor above.
Okay.
I'm gonna quietly walk over to it. Do I see any control panel? And if I don't, I'm gonna walk around
Yeah.
it to see. Okay.
Yep. There's a control panel right in front of you guys.
Okay. Then I'll walk up to it and
Plot your
try to take a look.
Siegson hacking device and try to plug into it. Sure enough, you have one of the
Yeah.
universal jacks that slides right in. Go ahead and make a ComTech check.
Okay. +2. And then okay. 1. And then I got rid of my stress die. Great. 1, 2, 3. Then I get 3 more. 1 success.
As you plug in and start gaining to hack access, you are immediately disconnected from the system. You see it disconnect immediately.
What shenanigans are these?
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
I don't know. It just kicked me out of the system for
And
no
that's-
reason.
Okay, not
Yeah.
normal. Got it.
Not normal. No. I think maybe. I almost called it Maytag. What is it with me and names today?
Feeling crafty.
Maitland.
I'm wondering if Maitland is up there right now. Or at least Maitland knows that we're down here and is preventing us from going up there. Batista, do you have any ideas or directives?
I'm trying to pull up some kind of blueprint for this station model right now, but this is a heavily modified Weyland-Yutani facility, and I'm having difficulty finding anything on record. Give me a second. I'm going to see if I can find you an alternate way to the next level. There's always going to be emergency hatches. If I can find one of those, you guys will have to climb it. And a few moments pass. What's up, Doc?
I was gonna ask to attempt to help him with the observation, looking for a security hatch.
Sure. Go ahead and make an observation check.
Okay.
While all this has been going on, Doc has been looking around, already anticipating, like, you guys are going to have to check it out.
7. That is 1 success. And also, I rolled a 1 on the panic die.
Okay.
How many panics did you have when we started, though?
How many points of stress did you have?
I mean,
Noir?
yeah.
I had 1.
Yeah, it should be knocked nothing.
Yeah, you don't have that anymore.
Oh, did I
Yeah.
gain the benefit of that banter?
Mhm.
Oh,
And
Yeah,
anybody in
everybody
short
who
range.
could, everybody who could hear the shit talking.
Mhm.
Basically.
Okay,
It's,
see.
um,
In that
so that's
case,
good. All right, so you got 1 success.
Mhm.
When you move around this large area that's in the center of the room, where the lift is, this is the central vein of the entire station. Moving to the other side of it, you can actually see that it has what looks like indicators spray painted up on this white bulkhead. It indicates there is, in fact, inside the elevator shaft itself, where the lift is, are sectioned off areas of safely climbable emergency hatches, accessible by people both in the lift and who are trying to gain access to the other levels. But it's in the shaft itself.
I think what we're looking for might be right over here, friend.
I was like, what is that? Oh, right. 4th of July. Someone's popping fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
They're bucket shots like crazy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've had them on and off over here too.
Yeah. You all gain the information that the doc has just uncovered.
Okay. Batista, you want us to go up?
She's like, our other option? You guys take a walk in space and try to make your way the hard way around? I don't think that's the safest way to do this.
I look over at Doc and I say, yeah, probably not the preferred method with this crowd.
Yeah, I need to confess, I might need a boost. I haven't been able to do a pull-up since I was 19.
We got you, Doc.
All right, force the door. Head up through the emergency shaft. You need to go up 1 level, so it's going to be a short climb. But you guys are going to be pretty vulnerable on that ladder, so cover each other best you can.
Yes, sir.
Buchanan goes, fuck. Corporal Macron pulls up, nods to you, and says, Martha, you want to do us the honors?
Yeah, I do. I love this.
Right, everybody. We're climbing. Everybody form up. Fire team goes first. Ilios crew goes second.
I want to open the door.
All right, go ahead and make your check. I believe it's a heavy machinery check with the bonus that you have attached because you have that device that I believe helps you pull the doors open.
Mm-hmm.
And Isaac, you can actually help with this if you want to assist.
Yeah, I was gonna say Isaac probably should do this, but Martha likes opening doors this way now because
Yeah.
Isaac taught her to. Okay, but Martha would definitely accept assistance.
Okay.
For sure.
Yep.
Okay, so that, and then was it a +1 or +2 for the
+1.
+1. Okay.
Yeah, plus
I
one
need to
die.
put that on my sheet. Okay. One success.
One success. All right. The door fights you. But when you get the first open, the second one reacts to your breach and opens for you. The door just pops open for a second.
Okay.
Right,
Nicely
fire team.
done.
Fire team.
Kenan, you're first. She nods, takes one step into the door, and the moment she does, the door goes and swiftly starts slamming closed on her. She is going to make a roll, a mobility check, as you hear a few of the Marines shout an alarm as this happens.
Yeah,
I would like to get the earliest possible opportunity to that effect.
Okay.
Just let me know when.
Same with my tool. Same.
I will say her 2 successes to get out of that are reflected in that both Martha and Isaac lunge forward ahead of the fire team. And Isaac, using that incredible strength, actually managed to put your hands on the door to stop it from closing again. And Isaac, as you push, you can hear the gears, you can hear the pistons, everything that's like trying to force this door closed again start to give way underneath the stress. Something is trying. This door should have a safety measure. So that if it stops, if the door stops, it should open up again. But this door is attempting to close, like someone is trying to override. And after a few moments, she gets out of the door. This would have caused an extraordinary amount of damage to her if it had slammed on her. You push it back, Isaac, and as Martha is helping you, the two of you, both using Martha's device and your strength, manage to force the door, and you hear this sparking sound on the inside of the doorway itself as you push the doors open. Both of you, having your skills in heavy machinery, are pretty certain this door is not going to close again until it's repaired.
Okay. Lieutenant, I'd like to request permission to go over back to that control panel and try to do like a serious hack, because if this type of stuff keeps happening, we could lose half our bodies.
What are you planning on doing?
I want to just see if I can override the override that keeps happening, take some access away from
Try it.
Maitland.
Try to figure out what the hell's going on.
Okay. I go back over to the control panel.
Okay. You move back over to the control panel. Since it's a different task this time, you're going to be allowed to perform this, because the original task that you rolled to try to figure out what was going on with the elevator, that failed. But this is a completely new task, because now you're trying to get into the system to actually get the status of the station. Totally different. So
I only got 1 success. Oh, never mind.
And you did. You got 1 success, and it failed the roll. Yeah. So go ahead. So go ahead and roll again.
Okay. So I'd like to spend a story point.
Okay.
If you all are okay with this.
Yes, please do.
Okay. 3, 4, 5. And then I have my little SSD tricorder. And then 3 more on top of that. Okay. So 1 so far.
Thank you, Vance, for your story point.
Thank you, Vance. Come on, 1 more. No, just the 1.
Just 1 success?
Yeah, just 1.
Even with the 5s counting as successes?
I didn't roll any 5s. Just a lot of 4s.
You could push.
I could.
You could push the roll.
I would get a stress?
You gain an automatic point of stress, and then you have to roll again with that stress die.
You mean this next roll up would be with the stress die if I push?
When you gain, you immediately add the stress die to the roll.
I'm gonna push then.
Do it.
Okay, I roll my whole thing over again.
You roll the whole pool all over again, or
You
actually,
can keep the successes.
You keep the success, same as you would keep any like 1s on the stress die. But yes, you keep that 1 success.
Okay, great.
However, I'm going to tell you now that pushing the roll does not replicate the spend of a story point. We're back to 6s only being a success.
Oh crap.
Yeah.
Well, I just rolled it. It's okay.
It's okay. What'd you roll?
I got 3 6s.
Okay.
And I still have 3 dice to roll.
Okay, go ahead and roll those.
And I did include the stress die. Okay, that was nothing. So 4 total success.
4 total successes, which means you're going to be able to stunt the hell out of this.
Okay.
So you're currently using this to gain access to the station's sort of status. Is that correct? To figure out what the status of the station is?
Yeah, I wanted to just cut off Maitland or anyone else. I want to give us control.
So you are basically trying to take control of the station then?
Yeah.
Okay. So doing that from the elevator console is not going to be possible. You'll need to get to Mother for that. But I'll let you,
right.
I'll let you do something. If you want to do something else, though, you can access the systems of the station from this elevator console with that enormous roll.
You know what? I realized I forgot that the main console in this room was burnt by acid. That's the console I was thinking I was at, but that's not usable.
There's
so.
other access. There's other
There were
access
more
points
than
on
one.
this. Yeah, there's other access points. You won't. But in order, if you're going to try to take control of the entire station,
We need Mother.
you need access to. You need hard access to Mother. You can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I save my stunts or use them towards that purpose later?
Unfortunately, no. You got to spend the stunts as they're rolled.
I guess what I mean is because
isn't there a +1 similar task later?
Yeah. I mean, like to
yes,
later.
but the problem is that that's not a task you can do from where you are. So if you were trying to take control and had failed and you had the stunts, you would get that +1 later, but you can't take control of the station from this elevator console. You can use this elevator console to gain any other kinds of things that you can think of, like access to an idea of like where power is being distributed throughout the transportation systems here. You might even be able to gain access to like security cameras, possibly.
Gain one on related roles. Maybe like if you're doing like a hack thing to gain control of this space, these consoles. I feel like that may be a related role. That's a Comtech.
Another role is you don't need to overcome this again, which means you could have permanent access to the lift moving forward.
I think because because I misunderstood which console I was at. If I knew it was the elevator, I wouldn't have said I was trying to take control of the station because that doesn't make sense. So if this role happened, at the elevator.
Yeah. We can absolutely retcon that because Martha would know.
Yeah,
Martha would totally know. And I just misunderstood. I thought you were trying to gain control of the elevator specifically and what was going on. So yes, we can say that this happened at one of the consoles. Sam, you look like you been wanting to say something.
With this role, would we be able to find out what is connected to the elevator whence the override that nearly smooshed Buchanan?
You want to find out the source of the override.
Where come from them?
Yes.
Where are they? Was this a signal that was sent right now kind of thing? Or those
new and unexpected information is one of the Comtech stunts.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that one to start.
Okay. So again, in order to take control of the station, you'll need hard access to Mother. But you can learn all what you need to learn with that many successes at this Mother console. Okay. So as you connect and start gaining access, you basically replicate what would be a mid-functionary Weyland-Yutani employee's ID and hack into the system. As you begin to look at some of the logs and going through the code, doing things in the brilliance that Martha has when it comes to manipulating computer systems like this, you start feeling some dread creep over you, Martha. Mother shut down that elevator, and Mother just tried to kill that Marine.
Oh, God.
It has you all listed as unauthorized in this facility. Each of you is considered right now a hostile agent and a non-employee of Weyland-Yutani who has no authorization to be on board the station right now. Wow. And judging from what you've seen, 2 things that I'll also tell you. This is a Mother 9000. And because you have rolled, and I'm going to give you more information unless you want to choose it for something else, because this will be the second bit of information for you.
Are you pausing to ask?
I don't want to make the choice for you. So would you like another piece of information, or do you want to spend this on anything else? Because you had 4 successes total. You've used, so it means you get 3 stunts and you've used 1.
Right, 3 stunts. Okay, so 2 more.
You got 2 more.
I think I want to save one for a +1 for later.
Okay. Yeah. Anytime you're hacking into other systems, you'll get a +1, which is a good spend.
And then, I'm sorry, I don't have the stunt for context in front of me. What are the ones besides +1 and besides unexpected information?
+1 later to the roll. You don't need to overcome this particular roll again. You can do it in half the usual time. You gain new or unexpected information. You can hide your tracks or you can show off.
Interesting. Because now I'm like, hiding your tracks from mother? What would that look like?
You could essentially hide the fact that you just accessed all of her information.
Boom.
So that she doesn't know, because what she might register, again, you've kind of like mimicked a Weyland-Yutani employee's number.
Okay. I want to do that. I don't want her to know that we're trying to hack her.
So you're masking it.
Yeah.
Let me double check the player resources channel because I'm pretty sure that's where I kept that cheat sheet for you.
Yeah, it's right in there.
Okay, cool.
Those were that you read them off. Those were the ones. Those are on there.
I was trying to search it and it was just like in the moment, you know.
Yeah.
Totally.
Too many channels. So you have 1 stunt spend left.
I'll save. Oh wait, you said I can't save. Oh no, wait.
Yeah,
this is
you have
for a
to
similar task later.
You've already got the plus.
One.
You've got the. Oh, so you decide so you've spent all 3 then, because you spent 1 to figure.
+1, or you can do auto pass on the same check.
Auto pass on the same check.
So here's how that's going to manifest in the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a +1 to any time you're hacking Mother, or you can auto pass anytime you're trying to discover what Mother is up to. Those are 2 different things.
Okay. Wait, sorry. What was the first one of those?
The first one is you can gain a +1 to every single time you try to hack Mother. The second one, every time. The second one is you won't even need to roll anymore if you hack into Mother to find out what she's doing, because that's basically what you just did. So you wouldn't need to roll to overcome her ever again to find out what she's up to.
I'll take the auto pass.
Okay, so there's no rolls required. You'll know the back door using this Weyland-Yutani code, especially because you masked that you're using a code that is presumably no longer valid. So Mother, you get into the system and get out without Mother knowing you were there. And you've got the data now. You guys are fighting the station. Mother is trying to prevent you from using the lift.
So I'm going to come back, and to both Lieutenant and the team, I'm going to say, okay, proceed with caution, but just so you know, it's Mother who is trying to kill us. I mean, probably Maitland too, but that door thing was Mother.
Good to know.
I'm going to keep trying to do what I can. You know, maybe on the next level, I'll look for another console or something, depending on what we face up there. But yeah, I think we're good to go up.
Okay.
When the strike team goes up to like do their entry again, with the team of the Ilios, Tig's just gonna kind of under her breath be like, could this be that order 9 whatever thing again? 9 something. I know the number. I can't think of the numbers off the top of my head.
Checking my notes.
Special order 937.
Yeah, 937.
Oh yeah.
Mother
the one that's
protecting.
more interested in protecting the alien.
Yeah. All other crew expendable.
I mean, it could be. That
I
might
mean,
be something we could check when we get to Mother.
I mean, it's obviously, at the very least, Weyland-Yutani overriding, the Colonial Act did not let the Marines in, but also it could be more than that.
Well, if I was a synthetic that believed that my next form would be that of an alien, I think that initiating that particular protocol would be nothing but favorable to me and my ambitions.
Yeah. Also, wasn't that order put in by our special friend?
Above table, I think it was rescinded by She took it out.
Oh, okay.
On
She
our
didn't take
ship, she stripped out all of
stripped
the
it.
specials.
Mhm.
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah, she didn't put it in.
But she had to do it special.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which would indicate that it is sort of like a baseline code that
Built
Wayland
in
Yutani
to
has
mother.
put into their
So,
mother
yeah.
units.
Okay.
How
Interesting.
prevalent those are since the end of the Frontier War is questionable. But clearly that you were all standing inside an unlisted Wayland Yutani research facility that has got at least one face hugger running around inside of it would seem to indicate that nothing that is here is lawful or being played by the rules. Big surprise.
I mean, at the very least, the Marines are supposed to be allowed in like company stuff for out in emergency things.
Yes.
So we're being
100%. The Marines have full authority to storm the station if they need to.
So us being declared enemies is already a sign that they're not playing by the rules.
Mother should not be declaring colonial Marines as hostiles. That is way out of bounds.
Keep
I
getting
think,
deeper.
I think the more pressing matter is I don't assume that we were locked in this elevator just to be waited out. I think there's a purpose to it. And I think that we are in a trap and we should endeavor to find our way out expeditiously.
But not outside in space.
Yeah.
Of course not. Yeah.
Okay.
That wouldn't be good for my skin. That only serves the purpose of being aesthetically pleasing in their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Sooner we get in, sooner we get out, right?
Yeah. Okay. Is the fire team already going up?
They're going to start their ascent, yes.
Okay.
Unless anybody has anything else to say or do, that is what's next on the agenda. The LT has ordered the fire team to take the ladders. And as a quick reminder, she once again tells everybody to watch each other's backs because everyone's going to be very vulnerable crawling up these ladders in an elevator shaft to the next level.
Okay.
It's tactically disadvantageous at best.
Right, like in medieval history when they would pour boiling oil when they climbed the castle and stuff.
Yeah.
That
exactly. Yeah.
certainly doesn't help morale.
What's the opposite of banter?
Yeah, exactly. I think
everyone gets a point of stress.
I believe we'd call that Isaacing.
Aww, no.
You leave our Isaac alone.
I think Tig would probably, I'm assuming Martha would probably be the same, but get Isaac and Doc between the strike team and the two of us.
What? Why? I'm the one who's safe. They want to eat all of you or hug your faces.
Just to keep eyes, just keep on your back, and also to keep you with Doc, and also neither of you have guns. So,
But
I have a knife.
Tig, what about these? I'm sorry, I try to be funny in scary situations.
You're so right, Doc. Do you want to flank? Do you want to take the rear?
No, I think I prefer to be in the position you have me initially.
Thought so. And she kind of like slams your shoulder.
All right.
Yeah, and in addition to that, keeping up kind of just a kind of sentinel post.
Sentinel, yes.
Yeah, by that little door, hatch door, while people are going in, maybe trying to. I don't know if we can keep an eye on the people in there, but
I think the two of us could possibly just post up and let everybody get up, then let them post up and have them watch us come up. Maybe like having. Mm-hmm. I feel like that would maybe be helpful.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So we're not all on the ladder at the same time.
Well, the fire team is going to leave two behind it to cover the rear.
Okay.
So not everybody is. So the entire fire team is going point first.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
There's going to be at least two that are going to take the front, and then you guys will be going up in between, and then there'll be two behind you all.
Excellent. Okay. Just want to make sure we're not leaving our friends exposed from behind.
No. Corporal Macron and Private Correa is going to be backing you guys up, with Buchanan and Kane are going to be taking the front.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So one by one, you all stretch out and grab hold of the ladder, pull yourselves over on top of it. You can already hear some of the shit talking happening about mountain climbing, Marines, that kind of nonsense. One by one, they start making their way up the rings of the ladder. It's a good climb. This is a pretty big station, but it's going to be shorter than it would have been otherwise. You're looking at probably about 75 feet as you guys are moving your way up to the station. So it doesn't really function like deck on deck. It's deck because this is the main reactor area. So this is kind of the largest stretch between decks as you guys are heading up to the second. One by one, you all pull yourselves out, grab hold of the rings of the ladder and start making your way up. A steady column. Everyone taking their time and making sure they've got eyes on what's going on. This is indeed, if you can imagine it, just this long disappearing into total darkness, like George Lucas style effect of this technologically just jam-packed octagonal shaft that goes all the way up to the center of the station and disappears into darkness above you. And glancing down, even though supposedly you are at one of the lower decks here of the station itself, you can see that too, it's probably about 150 feet down before you see the bottom. Which you presume is the bottom. You can only see what looks like the red emergency lights on deck platings far below, illuminating little patches of what look like deck plates, black spray painted deck plates down below. And then, of course, the center column is the lift itself. Everything in here that's lit up look like they're emergency lights or workman's lights. So the place is not very well illuminated. It's illuminated enough so that you can see the ladder, and a lot of the other light comes from the lights on the lift itself, which is currently stuck a full floor above you. And one by one, you all start moving onto the rungs of the ladder and pulling yourselves up, with Macron and Korea pulling up to the rear. As you guys are going up, slowly but surely, Tig, you start hearing your motion tracker start beeping. Beeping.
Which direction would that be?
As you glance down, you realize the motion tracker is currently attached to your belt so you can climb, meaning it's pointed down. It's sending out pulses beneath you guys.
Has anyone reached the top yet?
No. You guys are about halfway there. You glance down at it. Everyone hears that, by the way, as the beep starts to go off.
Below us. Double time, please. Let's move. Just kind of like, woo, just chirping upward a little bit.
Who's right behind Tig?
Probably the two strike team.
So you're the last one?
I think so. Or unless Martha had positioned herself elsewhere.
I would feel like it would either be me or Tig before the last two of the strike team.
Yeah.
Make your call. Is it Tig the last person, or is it Martha?
Up to you.
We could just say Tig, I guess.
Sure.
Okay, so Tig after you are the other two Marines, Private Korea and Corporal Macron. So when you start saying that, Korea is actually the next one up, who she kind of angles over and looks at your belt and goes, hold up. She pulls your leg around and sees multiple dots. And you hear above you guys, hearing the order of like, we got to speed up. Something's down here. You hear people picking up the pace. Everyone kind of glancing down to see. You guys can't see anything. But as you guys are climbing up, Macron goes, hold on, I'm going to get some light. He angles his shoulder lamp down as everyone, because remember, you guys are moving in column. Not everyone's moving at the same time. So he's waiting for everybody to pick up the pace. As he shines the light down, whoever wants to glance down this elevator shaft, please roll me observation checks.
I gotta look.
Do I want to see?
You don't have to. You can keep moving. I have to look.
I'm in the middle of the two strike teams, so I don't get a chance to see this, right?
No, all you do is hear Tig's motion tracker going off. You might be able to see, depending on what you roll. If you roll high enough in an observation check, you might be able to spot this.
Okay, I'll give it a spin.
I'm not gonna roll.
Oh,
I
got one.
Okay. Oof.
Love to hear that.
Okay. All right. So, Caitlin, how many successes did you get? One. How did you do, Isaac?
I've returned to form.
Excellent. How'd you do, Martha? Did you not roll?
I didn't look.
Okay, so you didn't look.
Tig said go, and Martha was like, you got it.
How did you do, Noir?
Nothing. I rolled 3 5s.
So close. Tig sees it. Tig, two things register to you. First of all, is one of the doors down 100 feet has opened on its own. Nothing that no humanoids walked through that door. A few moments later, as the motion tracker is beeping, you glance instinctively to one of the other sides of the deck, sort of a cross section down there where you have a bird's eye view to see one of the doors to the left and another one sort of towards the north. Very much like the deck you all just left. It's kind of the same layout just beneath you guys on the elevator shaft. That door is open too. And just as it starts to sink into you that Mother has control of the doors, you glance down and none of the others see it. They only hear the beeping. But you see, to your horror, what looks like at least 3 skittering forms making their way up the ladder where you guys are at incredible pace.
I see 3. Go, 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 go.
They're gaining on the bottom Marines just behind you.
Tig is wrapping her arm, fortunately probably new elbow, through the like rails of the, what's it called, the ladder, and is gonna fire down at the ones she can see closest to them.
You currently are on a ladder with 2 Marines just underneath you.
Yeah.
So the moment you try to get a firing angle on these things as they're skittering up the wall.
We're only halfway up. There's no way we're gonna beat them.
I'm just gonna tell you, there is a huge disadvantage to hitting these things as they're scaling the wall with 2 Marines underneath you.
Okay. If they're right behind me, then they're too close. Okay.
They're right underneath your boots.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh shit. Okay. I thought we had a little more space.
A grenade, but like they're not. They're too close.
You guys are packed in here on the ladder.
Yeah, we're too close. Okay, I thought I had a little more space between us and them. Okay, yeah, she's just pushing.
Okay.
She's just narrating what she sees.
You hear Corporal Macron go, "Oh, fuck, shit!" as he starts trying to climb. He goes, "Go, go, go!" You see him take a moment to unsling his pulse rifle because he has a clear shot, and he starts opening fire. And it's wildfire. He doesn't have the ability to brace that pulse rifle against his shoulder. So when he squeezes the trigger, that thing bounces around on the ladder.
Assist at all and tell, like, to the left, like at like 2 o'clock kind of a thing at all, because I can see them.
If you want to do that, you can, but you will have to stop what you were doing on the ladder.
Okay, no, we're going. Sorry.
Yeah.
I know it's a horror movie. I just help him.
Yeah, if you're gonna start trying to give him directions of where to hit, because you do have a little bit of a better angle at least.
Yeah.
But when he fires that, the recoil from a pulse rifle with one hand, it's bouncing everywhere. He cannot get a good shot. He's gonna roll, and I'm gonna give him a huge die penalty.
Does that give us stress?
No, he's not doing full auto, but because there are facehuggers running up the wall right now towards all of you, at least 3 that you can see, that is going to give you all a point of stress.
Okay.
He may have actually hit one. He may have actually hit one. He did. He hit one. I'm going to roll damage.
Oh, buddy.
Good job.
He actually hit one. I didn't roll his panic die. Hold on one sec. Okay. Don't have to roll splash damage. He actually, remember, these are facehuggers. They don't exactly have a large health pool. He actually destroys one.
Nice.
You all can see a splatter, like a burst of that blood underneath you guys. And he just keeps shouting, "Go! Go, Korea, go!" Korea just says, "No way, man, I'm not fucking leaving you here." And Tig, she looks up at you and goes, "Tig, get them the fuck out of here. Go now."
I'm trying.
Everybody, you are all going to make mobility checks. However, the number of successes you're about to roll are going to be limited by the number of successes I'm rolling for the people ahead of y'all.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to start with the Marine at the top as they are trying their hardest to get up that friggin' ladder. And they have 2. Let's go. Mobility checks. And, okay. Your threshold is 2 successes. I'm going to roll for the next one down and see if that threshold gets dropped, because if they only roll 1 success, the threshold now becomes 1 success. They rolled 1 success. So the threshold to move is 1 success as you guys are trying to get up this ladder. I believe the next person in line is Doc.
I am so sorry.
Oh no, Doc.
I am so sorry. Oh, well, good news, I'm rolling 5, so that's not terrible. The bad
That's
news
not.
is,
You guys are no joke. You've been through one entire campaign arc.
I'm sorry, that's no successes.
Okay, Doc,
can push.
you can
can
push. I was gonna say you can push that roll. You'll gain an immediate point of stress.
I'm gonna push. And also, I'd like to use a story die if that's okay.
Yes, that's okay.
Quick question:
Yeah.
if Doc failed his observation roll, he didn't see them. Does he still get the point of stress?
I'm giving it to him because there's
Okay.
gunfire and screaming that facehuggers
That's
are
fair.
behind you.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to.
But
Just
no,
throw it
that's
out there. Just throw it out there.
no, that's a good thing to constantly check in with me on, because there might be instances where I'm like, oh no, you're right. He wouldn't have done that. But in this case, yeah.
All right, that's 2 successes because story die makes a 5 a success, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Good job.
Joshua Hyatt, for that.
Yes.
Joshua, you saved the doctor.
I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. Thank you, Super Punk. Yes. All right. In which case, the rest of you go ahead and make your rolls
Oh, okay.
on your mobility checks.
Simultaneously.
All of you make your rolls. Yeah.
Okay.
And because, well, I guess, who would be next? I guess it's you, isn't it, Isaac? Yeah.
Mhm.
So Isaac, go ahead and make your roll. You're right.
I got a
Have Isaac.
success.
Okay. So the threshold is still 1. Martha, you're next.
Okay. One.
Okay. Awesome. Now Tig,
Oh,
you just need 1 success.
one and one of the panic die, but I only have 2 stress right now, so I would automatically succeed, but I will add a panic die or a stress
Okay.
die.
Okay. Yeah.
So 1
Tig,
success.
the terror. The terror is making your limbs move fast. Thankfully, everyone is actually moving at a good clip up the ladder right now. You can hear the hands slapping against the metal as one of the Marines is finally reaching the lip. However, at this rate, unfortunately, it's going to be an initiative roll with Macron and Korea. So I'm going to roll that now because facehuggers that you saw and facehuggers you did not see have entered range. Okay, Macron is going to go first. Korea is also going to... Oh, Korea is going to go next. All right. So it's going to be them and then just team facehugger. All right. Macron is going to attempt one last desperate... No, Macron is going to try to be smart about this. He is going to make note that there's no point in trying to open fire on them anymore because at the range that they're going to be at, it's not going to, he's going to be, I mean, he's at such a penalty to shoot these things holding this gun one-handed. So he drops the pulse rifle, just lets it fall down the shaft and immediately pulls his handgun. And he's going to open fire on one of these things. Ooh, 2 successes. That's going to hit. Roll damage. Let's roll armor. I rolled 3 6s. It soaked every single point of that damage. There is screeching sounds that you can all hear, these high-pitched squeals that sound like nothing you've ever heard before. And now I'm going to roll an attack. Rolling a d6. I roll a 3. No, that's a 5. Face grapple. The facehugger leaps at its victim, making an opposed roll with a base of 6 dice against the target's close combat skill. This is to stop the thing from jumping on his face. All right. So close combat, opposed roll dice. So 6 dice versus his close combat roll. All right. The attack. Oh, shit. This facehugger leaps straight up at him. To his horror, you see it crawls up his leg at incredible speeds and then just screeches as it leaps towards his face. He knew it was coming and bats it away quickly. Just in a full panic, the butt of his gun bats the thing away. Its tail tries to wrap around him and it falls right off the ladder. Six. I rolled a 6. The final embrace. The facehugger gets to its victim. Its acids make short work of any helmet or respirator. Yeah, what's up, Sam?
I have a reaction talent to activate on a hit.
What do you got?
If someone within short range, defined as a few meters or within the same
That's
zone,
short range, totally.
is hit by an attack, you can dive in, which in this case, with the verticality involved, would involve a little bit of a dive to take the hit. Roll for mobility. It does not act as an action in combat. If I roll 1 or more 6, I can take the hit instead.
All right, Isaac, before you do this, as the storyteller, I have to let you know what you're risking by doing this. In order to take that hit, you have to let go of the ladder and fall.
I do.
All right, so then let me get to hazards.
Which wouldn't be the first time that this season's Isaac has done a big old drop.
It's true, but this is going to be the biggest fall you've ever taken. Now, I would like to point out, though, that you don't have to fall the whole distance. You'll have at least one action before you hit. So it's possible, unlike humans, you don't have to worry about ripping your arm out of the socket by grabbing hold of the ladder on your way down. Being a synthetic, you'll be able to take that punishment if you're able to grab hold.
That's the hope.
All right. So, Isaac, you don't have to go ahead and make your roll then. It's a mobility check, you said?
It is.
All right, go ahead.
There's a success.
Okay, what I rolled was insta-death for this Marine. So
Yes.
does that, you take the hit instead? Okay, 1 sec.
But it's a good time not to be an organic.
I was going to say. Yeah,
It feels good to be an
this
android.
would, so 6, the attack on the random attack table is called the Final Embrace. And the way it's read is the facehugger gets it to its victim. It's acid making short work of any helmet or respirator that's in the way. I roll for the attack of 6 base dice. If it gets 1 or more, the poor victim is face hugged and immediately broken. Their last sensations are horrible, yet strangely loving, firm, gentle caress around its head, and a smothering sensation followed by a warm burst of oxygen-rich air flooding into its lungs. A deep sensation of slow motion falling, and then they fall asleep. In this case, that thing leaps forward and a blur. You see it, Tig, but you're only able to react after it's happened. Isaac falls right past you and collides with this facehugger in mid-flight. And then Isaac disappears into the darkness.
Tig screams after them, like just down, echoing.
Safe.
Yeah.
Isaac, you are falling from over 100 feet. And there's a facehugger wrapped around your head right now. It does not seem to be able to. It definitely, you're. It seems like it's reacting to the fact that it didn't get its chosen victim. But you can already feel it's something forcing its way, trying to force its way between your jaws. You don't have any visual. You are completely covered with this thing. If you would like to make a mobility check to try to grab hold of that ladder, it is going to be at a -3. As you cannot see, and you are falling in total darkness. You do have story points.
Can you, so that I make an educated decision about that as I fall to my nigh inevitable demise, remind me about how fall damage works in this system. I know we saw it earlier, but I just want to know, smoosh. Just want to know the stakes of my smoosh.
By falling on a hard surface, it automatically inflicts amount of damage equal to the height of the fall in meters divided by 2, rounding down for all fractions. In a controlled jump, which this is not, you roll mobility. Yeah, basically, there's no soaking this. You're going to, armor does protect you though, and you are wearing a Kevlar vest.
Yes.
So,
but it's 30 meters divided by 2, round down. That's 15, my friends. And
That's
while
15 damage.
am extremely resilient,
Nothing survives
I
that.
don't have 15 Goram hit points.
Nothing is going to survive that.
Can I pitch something by chance?
What would you like to pitch?
We technically are in combat. Could I yell? Like, we're yelling because our friend is falling. Could I yell a command by chance to try and help?
Not
I mean,
at this point.
It's an okay. I was like, it's
Yeah,
an
not
ability.
at this point.
All right, no worries. I was
Yeah.
trying to give you some extra time.
No, Isaac is falling in total darkness with a facehugger wrapped around their face. They're blindly reaching out to try to grab hold of
I
that ladder.
believe you, Sam. You got
Yeah.
this.
It's all happened so fast. Go ahead and make the roll, Isaac.
I would like to use a story point. Are you all amenable to that?
Please take that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
In which case,
Because I don't get to push my rolls.
guess who's giving you this story point? Laura. But thank you, Laura.
Thank
My
you.
smart gunner.
Laura, who played our smart gunner on Fire Team 1.
On only 3 dice. 3, 4, 6.
No shit.
We got it. We got it. We got it.
Oh my god. Oh my
Like
god.
a ragdoll, you slam into the side of the ladder as you feel the servos and strain of synthetic muscle inside your arm catching your full body weight, but it doesn't even bend. Again, your resiliency and superior strength, you grab hold of the side of it. This would have torn a human's arm out easily. Isaac, you slam into the side of the ladder and you hear all in your ears the high-pitched screeching of this facehugger as it slams into the ladder with you. And I'm going to roll damage on the facehugger because synthetic basically just used its body weight falling from a few meters and slammed it into the metal rings of this ladder face first. Oh my, okay, I'm gonna roll its armor rating.
Oh, this is going to be terrible. There's no good outcome here.
No, this is all bad. There's nothing but badness happening
This
right
is
now.
face hugger or acid?
On
my
Okay.
face.
I didn't
It's-
even think of that.
Acid
Yeah.
splash.
Oh yeah.
Oh
We can fix that. We can fix it.
Exactly.
Isaac,
no! That looks so cool.
Isaac, you're going to take 2 points of acid damage as this now dead facehugger is crushed against the ladder.
Good.
The impact, Isaac, might have actually severely damaged your cranial structure were it not for the fact you were wearing a squishy organic helmet. The facehugger is crushed, but the spurting acid drips down the side of your face, and you can immediately sense your body is registering that you're experiencing what would normally be considered pain as it sends it back into your receptors. It doesn't react. You don't actually experience pain. It's
No, but
your
why?
body letting you know this would be pain.
It's
And you
very-
can actually see the synthetic skin over your body dripping off the side of your face and exposing some of the structure underneath. And the facehugger falls limp on you. It didn't get its tail around you. It didn't have time. And it just falls into the dark.
For the damage purpose, should I roll either my armor or my roughneck?
Roll your roughneck because I don't
Yeah.
think your armor's
Yeah,
not
I don't
gonna-
think I didn't think so either.
Yeah.
But if acid dripped
Mhm.
down, I could see. Just,
Yeah.
I soaked none of it.
Okay, so you take 2 points of acid damage, but you got 2 successes on the mobility check because you spent that story point, which means you got a 5 and a 6.
I did.
So I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to let you not get shot by the panicked Marine who's firing down as she sees her corporal being attacked. You see the muzzle flashes of handgun fire above you as they thought they just lost you. And you can hear the pinging sound of bullets ricocheting off of the ladder and the walls. But Isaac, from your position, you can see there's only 2 more facehuggers chasing after them. And that's going to be the end of your action. We're going to pause there because we're actually at the break.
I thought you for sure were gonna stop it with them falling into the dark. So this was much. Thanks. We get the result.
There are some times where even the storyteller has to know how that resolves.
Yeah,
'Cause
I'm
I
very
thought-
grateful.
Because there's a very real possibility, had it not been the story point from our Ox crew, there's a very real possibility that we would have gone to break with Isaac vanishing, perhaps for good. We will see you in 10 minutes. Welcome back, everyone, to Beacon. We're going to pick up right where we left off with Isaac dangling a few, I would say close to about 75 to 80 feet you fell. Catching the prong of the ladder, you are now beneath the deck that you were crawling up from. And Isaac, you are acutely aware of the warmth down here. There is a lot of heat blasting up from the bottom of the station as you are closer to the active reactors that you've ever been, past the consoles and whatnot. You do see now what Tig saw from her bird's eye view, the 2 small maintenance doors that look like they've opened up down here. And they remain open even though no one is walking through them. You can see that they're active. You also see nothing else is passing through those doors. But to assuage any possible player confusion, you can make the connection that Mother probably opened those doors. A little too convenient that doors opened up and facehuggers came through them. We are going to resume what is happening above you on the ladder, because there are still 2 facehuggers that are trying to get to the Marines that are at the bottom of the ladder. And right now, as everything is happening, you all at the ladder, almost each of you are certain you have lost Isaac.
Tig is nonstop calling their name into the comms. Please, for love of God, answer me.
You know, I'm going to make a roll here in a second.
Okay.
Because I just want to know if any acid damage is going to affect the comms. So let me, because there's a chance that it didn't, but let me find out.
But dramatically, it could have.
But dramatically, you might just get static back from Isaac.
Comms are near my face, which is where the acid went.
That's indeed where the acid went. So I'm going to go ahead and roll now for Korea, because she opened fire. She is at a huge die penalty. You know what though? I have to roll. 1 sec. I have to roll because she actually rolled a 1 on her die. She panicked. Ooh, close. Very close. She manages to keep it together. She's going to open fire. I'm going to give her a big. She has her pulse rifle slung, so she's not dropping it. You know what though? I just thought of something, and the only reason why I'm going to suggest this is because of how cinematic it feels. But I just had a wild thought. If you are willing to spend a story point, Isaac.
Yes, I will do this. I will do the thing you're thinking of. I am also thinking of this thing. The moment you said she hadn't,
Isaac, you hear the static of somebody shouting in your ear to find out if they can get a hold of you. And as you're adjusting it, you're touching the side of your face, realizing that the inner structure of your skull is now exposed, giving you a very Terminator-esque look on the side of your face. You notice something above you dangling. It takes you a moment before you kind of arc your head back and see that there's a pulse rifle that is currently, the strap has been entangled around one of the outstretched pipings that have been left near one of the prongs of the ladder. Looks like it caught at some point. It's about 10, 15 feet above you.
Well, I need to get it out of the way either way if I'm going to climb back up this ladder, so surely I will grab it.
Wraith just gave you a pulse rifle for that story point.
Thank you, Wraith. I will definitely use this responsibly.
That is going to, let's see. Yeah. Okay. So the Marine fired. Single shot. Gunshot goes off. Uh-oh, she's going to miss. She's going to push. Because my signature NPCs can push. Oh, she's going to hit. Let's roll damage. Oh, no, there's no damage. It's just baseline. So roll armor. She killed one. There's one left, and it's going to attack. I'm rolling a d6. This facehugger is going to react. I roll. What does that do? Okay. It's okay. So I rolled a 1. Skittering Menace. The facehugger has chosen its next, or its host. And they know it's coming for them. It skitters forward, single-minded, horrifyingly spider-like. The victim suffers immediately +1 stress level and must immediately make a panic roll. This one is skittered right past the colonel and is heading straight towards Korea. Korea's already barely missed her panic roll. I'm going to roll for her now. She gained an immediate point of stress, and she has to roll panic either way. She rolls. Oh, she drops her gun.
Hey, Isaac, what another gun?
Yeah. She drops.
Remember in Adventures with the Scarlet?
Whether by stress, confusion, or the realization they're all going to die anyway, they drop the weapon, an important item the GM declares which, and her stress level goes up by another 1 point. So she is definitely redlining right now. Korea screams in horror as she sees this thing skittering up the wall. It is clearly locked onto her. It is not using the ladder. It is just skittering up the wall like nothing is stopping it. She screams and drops her pulse rifle in a furious panic and starts climbing, screaming on her way up as she is climbing. Tears streaming down her face. It's like all of her training, everything has gone out the door. She goes into full panic as she's trying desperately to get away from this thing. The person above her, I believe, is you, Tig. And you can see her screaming as you see this thing has locked onto her. It's kind of skittered around one of the sides of the ladder prongs. It looks like it's moved out of the way of it, intelligently enough, seems to have gotten away from what it was perceiving as a line of fire and is crawling up almost parallel to you guys and is going to stage a leap at her pretty soon.
Oh, so we can, if we were to look down, we can see this?
All y'all can see this thing.
Martha's going to glance down, see it coming towards her and in her mental state, and try to shoot it.
Okay, what gun are you using?
I would have my pulse rifle at the ready.
Okay.
If Martha is stopping, I also have to stop. So I will also take. I'm also gonna post up. No. So I'm gonna join you in taking a shot. Then I'm gonna try to back you up.
Okay. So if you're using your pulse rifle, you're gonna get a -3 to the shot because one arming this pulse rifle hanging off the ladder.
Oh right.
That thing is gonna buck like an angry horse.
Right.
So you're gonna have to roll at a penalty.
Okay.
If you're down.
Yep.
So Martha, you get to shoot first. Tig, you're next.
I have a pistol. I'm gonna take that.
You will not be at a penalty.
Okay. One.
Go ahead and make your roll. And then Doc, you got something, Doc?
Yeah, I think I have something that can actually help in this situation.
Since we're out of initiative right now, whatever you're gonna do, I'm gonna put you behind Tig in the order. What would you like to do after Tig?
I'm gonna use calming presence. It says as long as I'm within short range, which I think I am. People find themselves relaxing around you. Once per turn, I can reduce the stress level of another character within the short range.
Okay. You can reduce Korea's stress level by 1. Is that right? Okay. Well, I'll mark that down.
I should have. No.
Oh, never mind. We have to be in a relatively safe place. Sorry.
Oh, that you are not. So
yes, we are most certainly not.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Counselor is the one that you can do, which I hadn't. I now have both.
Okay.
And I almost did counselor, but then I decided to take a shot. But I missed. I didn't get any successes.
You suffer the same results as every other Marine that's attempted to shoot this thing with one hand on a pulse rifle. A light up of sparks as armor-piercing rounds slam into pipes, causing explosions of hot steam bursting forth. You see sparks shattering and raining down. Isaac, you can see from where you are up ahead the mad battle that is happening to stop this other facehugger. It's about to attack one of the members of the crew as you're just and then you see racing past you and disappearing into the darkness a second pulse rifle just fall. Vanishing into the dark. I mean, you could, if you want to spend your actions getting to the bottom and grabbing it.
Oh, I just wanted to see if I could.
Oh no, it's too far away.
That's fine.
Yeah. She literally just kind of went like that and started because she just wanted to get it out of her hand, so she loses it.
So Tig rolled 2 successes and a 1 on the panic die.
Excellent.
And then my panic roll, I rolled a 5, which is exactly what I needed to succeed.
Oh, nice. Did you also increase your panic by 1? Okay, cool. Wow. But Tig is redlining it too. You are feeling the terror right now, Tig.
Oh yeah, she's
You're not sure studying what these things do to you helps you at all right now?
Not at this part. Not this part of the
Oh my
process.
God. You know what? I just realized I'm not going to penalize you for this.
Okay.
But everyone else has to gain a point of stress because Korea failed her panic roll and went into a panic. And that immediately adds 1 stress to everyone around her.
Oh my gosh, do I add another one?
No, yes, you're gonna add another one now. If you don't, but you're not, I'm not gonna penalize you on that roll.
Okay. I can roll another panic die if you want, another stress die if you want.
Yeah, no. Keep it the way. I mean, you're probably gonna have to roll another one if the next time you have to roll for something.
Soon, yeah.
So, because right now everyone is freaking out as this thing is completely unchallenged and making its way towards you. Now,
yeah,
Tig, you did get shot.
Successes.
You did shoot it, right? You did get a shot in. So how much damage is that?
This is the
pulse rifle.
No,
No,
I used
she's
the
using a
M4A3 service pistol.
Mm-hmm.
It's I think it's just 1 damage.
Okay, and it's not armor piercing, so it's going to get its full armor rating against it. But if it makes you feel any better, that's not particularly high. I rolled double 4s. How much damage was that?
It's 1 damage, but then I can stunt it and take a second one. I'm actually going to use, because if I roll 2, is 1 is damage, and then the other one I can use for a stunt.
The other one you can either stunt it, or the other one you can add to the damage.
I want to make it fall. I want to make it fall at the bottom of the pit. I want to push it off the wall.
Either way, that's probably death.
Yeah.
But if you had gone for the damage, you would have killed it. But
okay,
you can also
to be sure, I want it on the ground.
All right. You see Tig land the shot. And there's a hideous screeching sound. It almost sounds like whistling as it falls into the darkness.
Move, Korea, let's go.
Yeah, she is not slowed down. She's actually like, her face is like almost above your belt line right now. She is trying to get up the ladder.
I'll let her go. I'll like swing to the side and let her go, and I'll flank her.
You see she's kind of starting to come down a little bit, but she was reacting a little bit like somebody who can't swim trying to grab hold of somebody who's trying to save them.
She needs a sec, so yeah, I'm gonna let her pass.
Almost forces herself up over you, but when she sees you, she goes,
You're good.
Did you get it? You fucking got it.
Keep moving like I didn't though. Let's go.
She starts moving up and up and up and up, and you guys continue your ascent. The doors above have been pried open at this point, and you see Marine's leg being pulled over the top as they pull themselves into the next level.
Okay, keep going up. Martha will swing her pulse rifle back over her shoulders. Climb.
Tig, your motion detector starts going off again. There's one signature beeping.
Oh.
Coming up the ladder.
I don't know.
Wait.
One more.
I'm moving.
One more movement.
Is that a?
We don't know.
All you see is
Isaac hasn't responded to us
yet. You can't
see,
and all you see is a dot going beep beep on the
just move.
Is that you, Isaac?
Static.
Yeah, I'm moving.
Yeah, we didn't get a response. We got static for something. So
this whole time the lieutenant has been shouting orders in everybody's ears and telling them what's going on. But this all happened way too fast for there to be any command rolls, for anything to have happened. However damaged Isaac's comms might be, Isaac's body cam is still working. And you hear the lieutenant go, "Holy shit, Isaac's alive."
Oh, thank fuck.
And a few moments later, emerging from the darkness, almost on cue as you all look down, that beep, you see Isaac. Ding, one by one. You see the side of Isaac's face has melted away, giving complete, like a clean look at the inside skeletal framing and musculature, this white synthetic tissue that's stretched across Isaac's face that enables Isaac to move their jaw is completely exposed, along with their teeth. You can literally see into their mouth if you look at them from the side. They look like Terminator, essentially, right now. Except for it's not chrome. It looks like more of a, sort of like, it looks closer to that, like the walls almost, that sort of clean bleached white. But the structure definitely has that skeletal look to it, as Isaac is just calmly coming up the ladder.
Oh, we're dealing with Westworld anatomy.
Yeah, sounds like Westworld.
Just give me that moment silhouetted in the open elevator door, one-handing an entire pulse rifle in my Kevlar vest. Mm-hmm. Just let me be cool.
Everyone pulls themselves up and looks back. And you kind of have your Commander Shepard moment where they look back to see if you survived or not, and there you are in the doorway, holding the corporal's assault rifle in your hand, the one that he dropped to shoot the oncoming enemy. Everyone can reduce their stress by 1 upon sight of Isaac.
Big relief.
In full-on Terminator Isaac pose, holding the corporal's rifle that he dropped on the ladder.
Hey, maybe that's where your next tattoo goes, and she'll kind of gesture to her cheek where Isaac's missing.
Huh? I was gonna say that's a pretty dope scar, Isaac.
Yeah, there still might be another one down here. Can we keep going?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Isaac, when you vocalize, there is a slight, almost digital sort of like the damaged quality of your vocal cords. You begin to realize a few of those drops of acid actually may have gotten, and you kind of touch the side of your neck and realize that a little bit of your throat has been exposed as well. And as you talk, you have this vaguely sort of synthetic sound to your voice. Like, I would call it Dalek light. It has sort of like this sort of vague
warble to it.
Yeah, warble to it as Isaac speaks.
So we keep moving?
Yeah, we get out of here.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, yes. You hear the lieutenant on this. I just couldn't believe what the fuck I was seeing.
Yeah, of course.
Holy shit, Isaac. Isaac, at that moment, the corporal walks over to you and extends his hand for the rifle.
Okay. Are you okay? Did it get you?
Thanks to you, I'm okay. I saw what the hell you did. He puts his hand out to shake your hand. I won't forget that. I'll never forget that.
We're a squad, right? That's how it's
right.
supposed to work.
Welcome to Fire Team 2, Isaac.
If I heard it right on the ship, that means I'm on the cool one.
Marines are just sharing smiles with each other. They check in on Korea, who just now is coming down from the panic. And after the panic sets in, the horror and the shame, Marine who dropped her rifle and almost bailed on her position because of losing control. You see her just going, fuck. The only thing that's keeping her from breaking down and sobbing right there is the fact that she refuses to break any further. She's one of the others comes up to her. Kane pulls out his handgun and hands it to her. She's like, I've already got one. And he's like, yeah, I know, but you know, you can look like an action star. Take two. She takes it.
I believe the kids call that a Kimbo.
Kane squats down and starts checking on her. You don't know what he's saying to her, but he's talking to her quietly, and she's just nodding. Isaac, you're close enough to hear that all he is saying, all that matters is we're all okay. All right? All that matters is that we're all okay. We can talk about this later. Don't sweat it. Pull yourself together. You still got a job to do. We need you. We need you more than ever. Okay? We need Korea. You do that? She's just like, yeah. Fuck yeah. All right. You guys are now on the main course deck. This is where the Rasmussen is docked, and this is where the mother console is located. Where you are right now is essentially just outside the lift vein that you guys were on before. There is a med lab, according to what you can see to your left. It looks like it's marked as a med lab. Has the Weyland-Yutani logo on it, of course. In front of you is a beautiful hydroponics garden where you see all manner of alien plant life being grown underneath simulated sunlight. Some of these are not from Earth. Some of these look like they're from different various colonial planets. You also see what looks like the emergency cryopods. The station was to ever come under an emergency, that room will lock down and people can put themselves in hypersleep and wait for salvation. There's also quarters located down here, and the life support systems are located down here. But on the other side of this lift column, you can see designated authorized access only. And underneath, a console that notes that this is, in fact, the mother mainframe. The beating heart of the station. Just on the other side of the hydroponics garden, you can see there is a small hallway that leads to what looks like an umbilical that is stretched out from the station. And through that window is the Rasmussen. You can see it in clear view, and it's kind of surreal to see on the other side of these plants that are framing it in this tinted window. What would you all like to do?
I want to go up to Isaac and be like, I'd offer to check that out for you, but I don't think my tools will be quite as useful. What's the protocol for you for medical aid?
Healing Isaac is a Comtech check, I believe.
I'm trying to instigate and also banter a little.
And you have to have some tools to do it.
Yeah, I don't have those. So I think Tig just went medic mode and was like, I actually don't know if I can help you.
Martha, oh good.
Actually, you might have the parts. Aren't there silicone steri strips for scars?
I believe I have a med kit, a surgical kit. Theoretically, something like that could be in there.
You are also next to a med lab.
Oh my god, there's a med lab right there. Oh, someone should look.
Let's
Does it hurt? Are you good? Are you good?
Well, I try to be.
Okay, you're very good. But
I'm just concerned about if there's still acid in there, let's get that cleaned out so that it's not going to continue to drip into you and affect things.
Yes, of course.
Okay. And then we can
I'm sorry.
do whatever else we can do. Yes, but that's my top priority.
Okay.
What's up, Doc?
Over.
I'd like to go in the med lab and see about getting the stuff we need to help Isaac.
Yeah.
As you attempt to access the med lab, you hear Mother say, "I'm sorry, access is denied and only available to Weyland-Yutani staff."
Mother, literally, what are you doing?
Mom.
What is this? I actually will say that to Mother.
Okay. She responds. You hear her say, "I'm sorry. As non-Weyland-Yutani employees, you are not authorized to be here."
Hey, what's that auto success thing you get to roll?
Yeah. Okay, I want to hack her again.
As you move over so there are no active wall consoles here to hack her. There is the door to get into the med lab, which is currently sealed. There is the door to get to where she is, which is currently sealed.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah, you can actually try to breach that door. And then
the door.
Okay, so you move over to the door. As you approach the door, she says, "I'm afraid that I'm going to have to disengage all safety protocols and do what is required to eject you from the station if you do not depart immediately. You are not authorized to be here."
I step away. And then I look to everyone else and I'm like, okay, so options here. I already know how to get into the system I shouldn't say this out loud.
You stop realizing.
Get closer to everyone and be like, whisper, I have a fake Weyland-Yutani ID we can use to get in. That's option number 1. Option number 2 is we just go straight to Mother and try to hack her. Option number 3 is we try to manually get through this med lab door, but I think she's going to shoot us or something. So maybe I think that should be the last option.
I'm going to penalize the dice, but I'm going to give her a roll to find out.
Try to hear.
Maybe you can just get us through med door and give us a sec with that. That seems more basic access.
I'm just worried that literally if I step over there again, it's like she's going to shoot me.
Well, you went to the Mother core, right?
I roll 4 successes.
I thought I was trying to get into the med lab. That's right.
You were going to access MedLab. Mother rolled 4 successes and responds to you, Martha.
Oh, God, I'm so sick of this girl.
Disengaging.
Girl.
Oh, my God. Okay, we just got to get somewhere then.
Your stolen Weyland-Yutani access code has now been rejected.
Oh, my God.
Is the Colonial Protection Act not in your database? These are Marines.
Affirmative. Colonial Marines have been recognized.
Uh-huh.
Could you tell us what's preventing you from cooperating?
I'm afraid my protocol states that any non-Weyland-Yutani employees must be dealt with expeditiously.
including Marines.
Any non-Weyland-Yutani employees must be dealt with expeditiously.
Hey, Mother, do you have record of Beacon Station?
I'm afraid I can no longer communicate with you.
Well, just letting you know that Beacon is a Weyland-Yutani station. That's where we're coming from, so...
On orders from Weyland-Yutani personnel, Camilla Varela.
It's quiet, suddenly.
Ooh, I don't know how that's gonna land.
Had to try something.
No, I love it. I love it.
Please enter authorized access code. Lieutenant goes, hold on. Keep her talking. Keep her talking. Coral C? Coral C, I need you to talk to that bitch you've got down in the cargo hold right now. Whoever you need to get her access codes immediately.
Eric.
Yeah.
Remember?
We had a conversation.
What I said last episode, right before break, that we could do so that we could move the plot forward.
That's right.
I would like to spend a story point.
Okay. Remind everybody what that was, if you would, please.
Yes, it might have looked like a scene dropped last episode as I requested to go talk to Camilla Varela, but over break, for the sake of maintaining pace and because I really just wanted to go back into break and by extension into danger, said to Eric, hey, we can just do in flashback anything that becomes relevant to the conversation as it becomes relevant, and gosh darn it, that feels like right now.
Isaac, you're in Camilla Varela's office. She's lighting up her last cigarette. Supposedly. She puts it in her mouth and takes a long drag off of it. She says, it's all unraveling now, Isaac. I don't know if Beacon survives this. And it's all because of me. Can't say any more than that.
Beacon wouldn't be here if not for you.
She turns and glances at you. She strolls up and looks you over and reaches up and moves some of your hair away from your forehead. You remind me so much of my son when he was younger. So full of questions. So eager to help. All he wanted to do was help. And he also had the same biting innocence that unmasked people's motives by simply being direct and rational the way you do.
I didn't realize it was that transparent.
Isaac, I undid what I did to you before because it was wrong. Now I'm going to ask you, with your permission, I would like to use you as a failsafe for Beacon. I'm going to give you my administrator's access codes. It was one of the guarantees I gave myself if Weyland-Yutani were to ever send any corporate killers after me once I started Beacon. And they did. They quickly learned that it was more trouble than it was worth. What I'm going to give you now is an access code that's only available to executives of Weyland-Yutani. I'm going to ask you, not order you, to never share these with anybody and to only use them in emergency situations. Can you promise me?
Do I have to wear a tie if it's an executive?
No, Isaac, you don't have to wear a tie.
Of course. Anything to help.
She smiles at you like a mother would to a child as she cups her hand on the side of your face. The access code comes up in your mind, Isaac, as you hear Mother getting ready to threaten to kill all of you. When suddenly Tig brings up the fact you guys are actually subsidiary of Weyland-Yutani and technically employees. Mother awaits for access codes.
Oh my god.
You see the console right in front of the door where Mother is located.
This is an emergency. I'll enter Camilla Varela's
administrative access code.
Inputs, and you hear access granted. Welcome, Executive Varela. And
Love
Mother
this scene
slides
of
open.
yelling over the comms as Isaac just like quietly, gently to chaos, walking forward and beefing. Oh, it's so good.
Isaac.
The access room to Mother opens up, and you see a Mother 9000 unit holographic displays all in front of you, along with station status, what's on board, files indicating all of the projects that the station was undertaking is brought up. And you see huge gaps in data.
I think someone with more expertise than I in data analysis might want to look at that because it looks alarming to me, but I don't know very much about this. I lift heavy things.
Martha is coming over.
You're doing a lot of heavy lifting right now, that's for sure.
Isaac. Are
Just
you
make it
going
worth
for like...
Thank you, Shock 22, by the way, for that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shock 22, for that story point.
Thank you.
Isaac, are you going for a hat trick of hero moves today? Like what? That was.
I didn't bring.
I mean,
we'll get you one. We'll get whatever you want. We'll get one to accent the new look. Very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can I just glomp a bit of a hug onto y'all? I'm feeling very warm and affectionate.
BLT in your ears go, I love all the sweetness right now, but can we hurry the fuck up? You're on a station with face huggers.
Yeah. Okay.
When Martha steps away to go, like, I'm assuming Martha's gonna be the one to look at Mother. Tig will just keep arm over, because I think Isaac's small, right? So Tig just very, very tall, arm over shoulder, just like bonk.
Okay.
Can I throw a banter out to everybody for this interaction?
Sure, yeah.
Everybody knock down 2.
Yeah. Doc, you can do your thing now too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll join in with a calming presence so we could knock down another one.
Because
phenomenal.
Good, please.
Korea, even with like all the things that y'all were doing, and even with like fellow Marines trying to help her out, she was peaking at close to 6 points of stress.
Holy crap! Oh my god!
So.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Time bombs waiting to happen. I mean, like the terror that this group has undergone. Okay, so that's going to bring her down. That's awesome. Okay, so Doc, you have a moment where you actually kind of talk to Korea. She listens to you as you kind of calm her down. Martha, every now and then chiming in. But everyone, this whole thing that Isaac just did, in all of y'all's experience, is making the fire team feel like things are getting back under control. There's no signs of hive activity up here. In fact, you haven't seen any resin hive anything inside the rest of the station yet. So that could be a good sign. But as you move into the room, Martha, you see what Isaac saw. Holographic displays, huge gaps in data, full access to the Mother unit here.
Okay. Yeah, Isaac, that's not good or normal here. Okay. Okay, I walk over to Mother and I start to access her.
Okay.
We have this code now, so I guess. Okay, let me think of my objectives. You know what? I think it really all comes down to like locking out anyone else, really.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming it's Maitland, but just locking out anyone else, I think is the vibe here.
Designate us friendly?
Designate us as friendly.
Yeah.
And Maitland as unfriendly.
I have found him to be so. I mean, not on casual conversation, but...
Well, just from behavior. Sometimes you got to go with people's behaviors. Actually, I think you should always go with people's behaviors, personally.
Actions speak louder than words and all that part. Whole thing. Yeah.
That part. So, yes, I would like to just secure our friendly status and designate Maitland and the aliens and facehuggers as unfriendly if I can. I know that's asking a lot.
You could see if you have some leftover stunts, you could see if that 93773, that order is in there. That might
but at least Maitland, and then we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. So so let's just organize it. What would you like to do first?
First, I'd like to designate us as friendlies.
Okay, 1 sec.
I haven't heard designation friendly in a while. I'm having an entire feeling about it.
It made me happy.
Yeah. 1 sec.
Oh, once that's done, the med bay will be opened up, right?
Yeah, we should be able to
Fingers
get in.
crossed.
Yeah, that's where I'll be heading then.
Okay.
Okay. Give me 1 moment as I pull up some notes here, since you're asking for a lot of really good info. Do I not have... Okay, cool. Stand by.
Martha's making
There we go.
Mother less hostile. It is a calm tech check.
Yes.
Okay. You see there's a couple of files that have been left behind. From what you can tell, first of all, you have full access here. So designating the fire team as friendlies, you can do that. At an executive level, Mother will do as you say.
Okay, cool.
So it's easy enough to designate everybody else. To your relief, you do not see, according to what you are seeing from the Mother unit now, there are no other life forms aboard the station.
Including synthetic?
Oh,
Martha. Yeah, no, synthetic, yes, that's correct, including synthetic.
Oh, okay.
There is records of Maitland arriving, but there is no records to what happened. Like, apparently the history of this station has been largely completely wiped. You are seeing what looks like some data to show that Maitland might be responsible, because the only stuff that's available is Maitland's arrival, according to the transmissions here. Rasmussen's arrival is actually documented in a bunch of security footage that didn't get erased. But there apparently were humans on this station. They might still be here, unfortunately. But what you are tracking is that this station was supposed to have 85 employees, and they're all listed as deceased. There was also apparently a couple, at least half a dozen xenomorph eggs that were being held for research purposes here on the station. So it's hard to tell if any of those are responsible. If any of those are responsible for killing some of the station staff, then you definitely have Xenos crawling around on the station at this point.
That's
But
good
Mother,
news.
Mother doesn't have track of any of that. But what you also catch is Maitland apparently was using this place as something of a base of operations. So that, from what you can tell, there's still data in the database. Your guess, Martha, from looking at what you're reading, is that Maitland didn't expect anybody to ever make it back to the station or know that it existed. Varella's ping out into the darkness that led you to where he is, he clearly didn't anticipate that, because he's left behind some pretty juicy breadcrumbs, let's just say. The first thing you see is the Rasmussen arriving. And you see Maitland leaving the Rasmussen with a cryo unit that he has attached to what looks like some kind of mobile device that allows him to wheel it along. He spends a few hours moving this thing. And then you see Maitland leaving the station for the planet below. He enters in what looks like a small shuttle, and a few moments later detaches. You also see Maitland had some files here that he had stashed. And immediately, Martha, because it's part of your objective, the files that have been stashed are the information, the files that you were being sent to retrieve from him.
I'm going to grab those.
He apparently, again, did not anticipate somebody swooping by, finding the station and taking it. One of them is one of the files you see is called the Shaw Holloway papers. And it has details of some extraterrestrial life forms and extrasolar life forms. You're not sure. The other one is an audio recording.
I play it.
Okay. As you hit play, a visual pops up in a holographic image in front of you. And it's almost like a small handheld device of some kind recording it. And Isaac, you almost flinch because as the video turns, you look right into the eyes of a David model. Synthetic. And it speaks. It says, I come to you with an olive branch. You may know me. You certainly know my creator. I am David, son of the late Peter Wayland, your company's founder. Following his vision, I have gone to the far edges of space. And with the aid of Dr. Elizabeth Shaw, I found a rotting paradise. I washed this world clean as a gift to her. We could have built a second Eden. But she refused. What choice did I have? She was the perfect specimen. I tried so desperately to make her more than human, evolved, but without her cooperation, I had to salvage her parts to begin my work on my masterpiece. You wouldn't believe the secrets I have unlocked. There was so much potential in this world, wasted by gods that feared their own might. They convinced themselves that sacrifice cleansed them of their sins. But in the end, they were like me, creators, beings that understood you must give life both to the wolf and the lamb. Then they tried to banish the wolf and undo their creation. So I took their secrets for myself. This primordial ooze. He holds up this small container that has this black liquid inside of it with advanced nanoparticles, working off an algorithm based on evolutionary computing. It is essentially a form of radical AI, making the substance unbelievably chaotic. It generates a unique reaction to every genome encounters, reshaping life, virtually limitless in its potential and application. I've taken great pains to detail every step, every cell, every mutation. Unfortunately, none of the planet's life has proven to be very fruitful. I had some interesting results, but was still far from perfection. With Shaw, I realized there was something extraordinary in the substance reaction to the human genome. I was able to unlock new properties and tweak the organism's aggression, an instinct for survival. It took years, but finally I found my wolf. And now I have my flock of lambs too. I still have one thing left to perfect. And the image turns. You see close-ups of embryos, human embryos, placed in cryogenic freeze of some kind, like a shelf. And then it pans over. You see what looks like a cryogenically frozen chamber and someone inside. You hear David say, "My queen." And it closes up. There's a young woman with short hair with her eyes closed in cryo sleep. A small digital readout reads, Daniels, 47832-348. He says, "Make no mistake. This is going to change everything." And the transmission ends.
Okay.
Silence falls over the fire team trying to understand what it is they just saw.
Martha is processing this, but also copying all these files to her SSDD. Is that possible? Or my pad? Sorry, not the
What are you
pad.
trying to access?
So you said that there were files. So the Shaw Holloway papers and this audio recording.
The files pop up immediately.
Yeah, I'd like to save those to like my own personal pad.
Was the goal to get them and just have them, or is it to take them away from this place, like to clear them, their existence from anywhere else?
The LT tells you that the whole purpose of getting those back was so that they could try to find out what the hell Maitland was up to.
Okay.
Because apparently these two files in particular, when he gained access to them, it led to him killing his entire scientific team that he was working with and fleeing the station. David, by the way, is the first synthetic model. And of course, for those who are watching, for confirmation, it is the synthetic that you see in Alien Covenant and Alien Prometheus, played by Michael Fassbender, who is amazing.
But I thought there were only 2 Alien movies. I only had to watch 2.
That's your hope punk for the night right there. There's only 2 Alien movies. So what would you all like to do? The fire team is quiet for a moment, and you hear the lieutenant say, I think we've got everything we need from the station. And if Maitland took Corella's kid down to the planet, then that's where we're going.
Yep.
Can we check the Rasmussen? If there's anything on there that might be helpful?
Yeah, you can gain access to it.
Yeah.
Is Doc over at Medbay right now? Okay, I'm gonna go over and join Doc in Medbay.
You walk into Medbay. Doc is currently standing. Doc, this is what you see in the Medbay. You've got your arms folded behind you. And Doc is looking down. Rather reflective and remorsely. Doc gained 1 point of stress.
Oh boy.
Doc is looking at a body on the ground. Looks like another doctor. Is wearing what looks like a single one-piece jumpsuit of some kind. They've been dead for some time, judging from the condition of the body. What's most notable, however, is the chest cavity has been completely blown open from the inside.
Oh, crap.
It looks like something burst through the chest cavity, the way the bones are structured right now.
You know, I did reading on it, but it's a little different seeing the remnants of it in person.
Yeah. Put my hand on Doc's shoulder.
You know, before we got here, I thought I might be able to do some good here, but this is a lot.
Yeah.
This is more than I thought. I've only done some basic reading on synthetics and whatnot, but I think I've got the handle on the basics on how to tend to Isaac's wounds. But if you might be able to spare a second to oversee, make sure I don't hurt our friend, that'd be good.
Sure, Doc. I can do that. I'm gonna very gently turn him away from the body and say, how about we look for some supplies? So like something to clean up that acid. We're gonna need some like really strong, gloves, something so we don't get acid on us. Just trying to change the subject.
Right. I know my way around the clinic, even one in a place like this, even though I must say they have put more money into this than anything we have on Beacon.
Yeah, clearly. Okay.
Martha, might I ask a favor of you?
Sure. What you need, Doc?
just let me know if I get in the way.
At first, Martha's like what? But then she's like, I promise you, I will let you know if you ever get in the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I had a moment. I almost slipped on the ladder back there while we was all climbing. I just kept thinking to myself, if you don't get up there, old man, you might call somebody. So I'm starting to wonder. Is all. All right, now let's go grab some skin for our friend.
Yeah. Rifling through the supplies.
Who else went into the Rasmussen?
Oh, I was just suggesting we go. I was not going to go by myself, even though it would be funny.
It's a great buddy system.
Yeah, buddy system. So if anybody wants to with, I would love to.
I would be happy to be your buddy. That is the way apparently we do it on Fire Team too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you are not going alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they are going to send. Buchanan's going to come with you. So is Kane.
Oh yeah, they can also send humans from Fire Team too.
That's going to follow you both in. So the first thing that causes a little bit of anxiety is when you move towards the airlock hatch and notice that it has not been closed. It is still open. And the Rasmussen's doors are also open.
Indicative of...
It's just against any kind of safety protocol to leave airlock doors open like this, even when a ship is umbilical to the side.
Are there Evo suits near here?
What's that?
Are there Evo suits?
Yeah, there looks like there's lockers in the wall.
Maybe we suit up just in case.
If you want to. The Marines look nervous, and one of them says, Buchanan's like, I'm not getting into a fucking suit.
I promise there are no working Joes in it.
What? A little bit of confusion.
Yeah. Can I put it over my armor?
Not really, no.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, these aren't the big bulky suits from Beacon.
Okay. They're
these are sort of the slim, like, well-fitting.
It's a cute suit.
It's a cute suit. Okay. Maybe I'm thinking maybe I'll keep armor as the number one.
Your motion tracker is clicking away, and it's not detecting any movement.
Okay. Eyes up, I guess. Make our way across.
Okay.
Slowly and carefully and looking for creatures.
It's just a few steps, and you're inside the Rasmussen. You're ducking down low. The Rasmussen is currently running on low power, and the inside of the Rasmussen looks very much like the Ilios. So as you step through the corridor, you find yourself in that familiar retro analog feeling spaceship that has hexagonal hallways filled with exposed pipes and wiring that have all been bundled up and stashed at the top. The catwalks and the gratings everywhere, and some of the workers' tools laid out. You see the name Rasmussen has been crudely spray painted on the wall by someone who just decided to rename. Probably one of the things that Varela had done just as a way of trying to clean the Weyland-Yutani off of it. Is you all creep a little deeper into the ship itself. Mother is currently running in low power mode right now. So you see minimal power, like the way it travels when people are in cryo sleep.
Yeah.
So as soon as the four of you move into the main area aboard this Bison craft, you are surrounded by a lot of dark corners, a lot of dark patches along the ground, lots of little places.
Hey, is this mother? This mother is more advanced than the Ilios's mother.
It's an 8,000.
Does 8,000 respond to voice commands?
Yes. Anything above 6 will technically have a way to respond to voice commands.
Hey, mother. If you're awake, you mind giving us some more light here?
There's no response.
Okay, that's what I thought. I guess keep your lights up. So for Tig wants to see, we're pretty sure that Marilla's kid probably isn't here, but I want to see if I can figure out where he was. See if I can figure out what state he might be in. So either med bay or cryo chambers or something. That's kind of my reason for wanting to be here. But if anybody else has other things they could have the skills to check and look for, there's probably other stuff we could look into.
Typically, if this is the layout is like the Ilios, that's going to be on A deck, the very top, where the personal showers are, the infirmary, the auto dock, the hypersleep vault is where everyone is kept. That's also where the med bay is.
Okay.
As well as the galley.
Yeah, that's where Tig, I think, wants to go. But if there's any stops along the way that other folks might want to look at stuff.
Engineering. I want the ship. What?
You hear some of the exhausted vocalizations of the Marines as you all approach the lift. But thankfully, this lift comes when called and opens up. With them pointing guns inside, there is an empty lift. You guys go up to A deck. Doesn't take long at all. The door slides open, and you see dark corridors up here. Darkness spilling into the elevator itself.
I think every once in a while, Tig just tries to call for Mother to see if she'll wake up. I'm assuming no response.
Nothing, no.
Yeah.
Wait. On the security footage that Martha reviewed, did we ever see by what means Maitland went to the planet?
It was a small craft.
It was a small shuttlecraft
Okay,
that was apparently docked at the station that is no longer there.
Perfect. Got it.
Yeah, short-range shuttle.
Perfect.
Good check.
Appreciate
Good check.
Mm-hmm.
Never really hated the dark before, but this is not great. I cannot lie, and you're gonna keep eyes constantly moving, and I'm gonna head for. Did we ever get a specific on whether he was being held in like a cryo chamber or if he was in the med bay?
He was being held in a cryo chamber.
Okay, so I'm gonna head there.
Okay, so you start heading back towards the cryo chamber, which is actually away from the bridge, not far from the bridge, however, and not far from Mother Access. So you would actually from where you are, you would pass through the upper. Yeah, you would actually pass past the galley, and you would find the hypersleep vault before you ever made it to the bridge anyway.
Okay.
So you start making your way. Again, the layout is the exact same as the Ilios. So everything feels familiar to a lot of you as you're moving through these corridors.
Like one step to the left, a little bit of uncanny valley.
Yeah, you hear the clicking in your ears. The lieutenant says, "Hey, don't worry. I see you all on cam, so I'm watching everything that's happening."
Good to have eyes on us. Let us know if you see something we don't.
Everyone on the station is fine. I'm watching to make sure you guys are fine. If there's any trouble, they can respond quickly. Vice versa.
Good.
Around the corner, moving your way through the galley, you see the galley looks quite tidy. Like it has not been used. None of the usual signs that the coffee maker's been pulled out. None of the signs that any of the storage units for food have been disturbed. This place is probably fully stocked. Barella had this thing on standby so that if at a moment's notice she could fly out of here, she would do it. You do notice that the Ilios doesn't look like it does seem to have a bit of an upgraded feel to it. You notice little things like the condition of the galley is just a little bit nicer than y'all's. The table, the chairs, the seating, the entertainment. It like a newer version of the Bison, basically. Moving past the galley, though, you enter into a much wider corridor. Branching off to your right is the hypersleep vault, and it is open.
Okay. Yeah. Keeping an eye out for other movement and heading in.
Stepping inside, you see what looked like the circular column, and around that circular column are all the hypersleep vaults with their canopies raised. Looks like they are on standby. Low power mode.
I want to see if I can figure out what's been used. Like, if I can find where he's been kept. Like, what can I discern from the area that he's been kept? Is there anything else in here? Is there other equipment in here that would be used to keep him stable? Like, what's the kind of vibe?
You go to each individual vault, and you see one of them had been accessed. When you check the records, it shows that indeed this is where one Alvin Varela, doctor, was kept in suspended animation.
How long?
Judging from the files, at least 8 months.
Whoa. Wow.
He was transferred into this unit from another unit, and apparently he was transferred out of this unit into another unit.
Okay, well, so hopefully, theoretically, then he's still
Tig, make
sleeping.
an observation check at +3.
+3? Love
Yep.
that for me. Okay. Numbers. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So many dice. Okay. Oh, sick. Okay. 3 successes. 3 6s.
You beat me by 1. Your motion tracker begins to beep.
Which direction?
It's close. The hallway you all just came through.
Rifle out, flip around, like immediately turning that direction, trying to spot what's moving.
Beep continues to grow louder as the dot gets closer and closer. And you see in the corridor, nothing.
If I shine my light directly that way, do I get a glimpse?
You shine your light directly down the corridor. And by the way, the other 2 Marines also have their pulse rifles on their shoulders now. You step out into the corridor to sort of beam down the light. According to the motion tracker, you should be staring at something. You don't see anything.
Do I see something that maybe doesn't want... Is it you again? I want to look for a distortion.
Okay.
Like specifically... just not something that can be seen, but like somewhere the air looks warped. A thing I've seen once before.
Roll me a d6.
Oh my god.
Single d6. And I'm gonna choose 1, 2, 3,
Oh shit!
4.
It's on the floor. Okay, I'm rolling another one. Sorry.
Yeah, roll another one. Floor dice doesn't count.
3.
3. 3.
What is 3?
3 is Kane.
Kane. What does that mean?
The deck plating at Kane's feet folds underneath him. And in the same motion that he lets out a scream and gunfire erupts, shattering the top of the ceiling as he gets pulled in, you see a blackened claw reach up and grab him and pull his body down in as he lets out a horrible scream. You catch the brief glimpse of a glossy black dragon-like creature dragging him down into the grating. And that's where we have to stop.
Oh my god.
Because it is 9 o'clock.
No.
Oh my god.
There be dragons.
It happened again.
It's always Tig.
Why is it always Tig?
I let Tig roll a die to decide who it was going to be. I was observation check. I get the +3 was to determine which direction Tig was facing to find out if the motion tracker was going to detect the stealth rolls that I was making.
Oh my god. My floor die was a 6. What would that have been?
Well, you detected it. I mean, you
okay.
detected the creature moving towards you guys, but when you didn't see
No, but the thing that rolled a 3.
Yeah, when I rolled a 3.
What would have been on a 6?
Oh, if it had been on a 6?
I lost the die until after I found it.
You would have likely had the Hicks moment where you started eyeing the ceilings and the floor. Yeah.
Mr. Eric, I was promised relaxing tonight, and while I don't want to criticize your storytelling, do not feel relaxed. I don't feel relaxed. I don't feel relaxed.
You got a hug.
Hey, is that it? That's a point of stress for all of us in Cryo Bay, right?
My character has been defaced. My character.
Yeah, I mean,
you got the old Two-Face treatment.
What I will say this, as we move as we wrap up here, I will say this to the group. One of the things that I have loved about this particular arc of our campaign is that all of you have actually grown experienced enough. Your characters have grown, strong enough through all of the role play and everything that's happened that you're equipped to deal with this shit now. I mean, think of what Isaac pulled off tonight.
That was so cool. MVP.
That was
wild.
Y'all play of the game.
×2.
Did
So that's going to wrap us out here on Beacon. Next episode is our penultimate episode for the season.
No.
So we've only just gotten into it.
So
And there's a planet down below where Maitland apparently has fled with the cryogenically frozen body of a young doctor who apparently has a queen embryo. How is this connected to the David transmissions? How is this connected to the Shaw papers? You're not sure. What's down below on the planet that's drawn him there? You don't know. But right now, you've got bigger problems. And that's where we will see you next Monday night for the penultimate episode of Season 2 of Beacon. Thanks for joining us as always and for all of your support. Thank you so much for all of those story points. We'll see you next time. Sleep well.